Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A radio star is born.
You're going to love
Talk Radio. Talk Radio.
Easy, Tiger. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. Busy show tonight at 11. We've got Stephen Murdoch on to talk about Pokemon Go. After midnight, we've got Pattie Boyd, George Harrison and Eric Clapton's ex. This is Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
There's a voice that keeps on calling me. Down the road, it's where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Can't stay for long, just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow I'll just keep moving on. Down this road that never seems to end. When new adventure lies just around the bend. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, the whole world is my home. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. Down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. There's a world that's waiting to unfold, a brand new tale no one has ever told. We've journeyed far, but you know it won't be long. We're almost there and we paid our fare with a hobo song. Maybe tomorrow I'll wanna settle down. Until tomorrow, I'll just keep moving on. So if you wanna join me for a while, just grab your hat, come travel light, that's hobo style. Maybe tomorrow, I'll find what I call home. Until tomorrow, you know I'm free to roam.
Well, we got nothing better. Yes, Line 1, you're on the wireless.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Alan.
How are you, boss?
None of your business.
Oh.
None of your bloody business.
So it's been a bad day then.
None of your blooming business, Caddick. None of your business. None of your business. NOYB. New Kids on the Block. None of your business.
No, NKOTB.
NKOTB. New Kids on the Block. What other phrases are more better known by the letters?
LOL.
LOL. Yeah, I'll give you that. LOL.
Fork.
Fork?
Sealed with a loving kiss.
Oh, okay. Well, what is fork then? I don't want to know.
No, SWALK.
Yes.
Sealed.
Norwich.
N.
Norwich.
Delia Smith.
What?
Norwich City. Delia Smith.
No, she wasn't Norwich City. Wasn't she Leicester City?
No, she was chairman.
But we're not playing the Delia Smith game. 444-499-1000. Make this end. We're doing.
Call you back.
Shut up. We are doing words. We're doing letters that make words. Norwich.
Oscar.
No, but you can't just because you don't understand. This is Alan. I've worked out. I've got a life hack for you. I've worked out.
Oh, what is it?
Yes, I've worked out why your life why you are suffering from arrested development.
That's a very good program.
You see? And that's my point. When you come to something, when you are confronted with something you cannot comprehend, you ignore it.
No, I'll change it.
No, you don't. You ignore it.
No, Ian, don't let me go Donald Trump on ya.
You ignore it. I've noticed this about you. When you come to something you cannot, your brain cannot comprehend, you ignore it.
I'm just trying to make people laugh.
Where? No, but you're doing it now.
You're making me laugh, but I'm trying to make you laugh.
No, but you're doing it now. You are confronted with a concept you cannot comprehend, so you're ignoring it.
Because I don't understand the concept.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's got a bit off colour tonight, Ian. Is everything okay?
What? Nothing is off colour. I've just worked out what's wrong with you.
Right, what's wrong with me then?
I've just told you!
Well, tell me again, break it down so I can understand.
Okay. When you are confronted with a concept that you cannot comprehend, you ignore it.
That's the scientific term. But so basically, in layman's terms, I just talk about random nonsense.
You just did it then. You just did it then.
Did what?
You were confronted with a concept you couldn't comprehend and you ignored it.
I'm just twisting it to words that
No, you didn't. No, you didn't twist it. You didn't twist it.
Well, I did. What's wrong with Twister? Hello?
What?
So, what topics we got for tonight?
Yes. Do you see? Do you see? I'm not talking to you, Alan. Put your fingers in your ear. I'm talking to the listener. Do you see?
Yeah?
No. Do you see what I mean, dear listener? Arrested development. That's why he's a grown man, but stuck at the age of, I'm going to say 14, because when a concept that is presented to him that he cannot comprehend, instead of asking, what do you mean? He just goes off on a tangent and talks about something else. Let's go back
What
to
do you mean?
Well, then you ask, what do you mean?
Because I fully don't understand it. I'm asking you, what do you mean?
You're only asking me what do I mean because I have said that you don't ask what do you mean.
Well, I was going to ask what you mean before you said...
No, you started talking about Twister.
Yeah.
No. You started talking about Twister.
Because I'm thinking of the film Twister.
I'm thinking of the game Twister. But even then, neither of those things have anything to do with what I said immediately before you said Twister.
Because you said I twist things.
Okay.
Well, what topics we got tonight, Ian?
Well, tonight after 11
I
o'clock...
might contribute to the topics.
Well, tonight after... You don't have to. Tonight after 11, we will be having Stephen Murdoch from ISO Solutions on to answer any computer technical problems you may have. But primarily he's coming on to explain the phenomenon that is Pokemon Go.
I've done my Pokemon count at 10.
Wowzers, you really are taking your time.
Well, a little bit each day. Looks like we're saying apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Have you got a dick in your mouth?
No, I have not.
Okay, it sounds like it tonight. It does sound like it more than usual. Has your tongue swollen to the size of a giraffe's tongue?
That's it. No.
Okay. Then after midnight, we've got Pattie Boyd on, who is the ex-wife of both George Harrison and Eric Clapton.
Ooh, two great guitarists taken before their time.
Eric Clapton's still alive, so Eric Clapton was taken very much after his time.
But George Harrison, one of the Beatles.
That's correct.
She's got some tales to tell there.
She will, and she does. We pre-recorded it. She tells us all the tales.
You got a team in the house tonight?
Yeah.
Kath and Ed?
Kath and Ed are somewhere in the building. Yes, they are located on the premises. But guys, this can only work if you get off your backsides and call in. What's the number, Caddick?
0844 499 1000. Remember, they call you back.
We call you back, guys. The phone calls have been dropping off significantly recently, Alan.
I think I know why.
Oh.
Since you got with us straight to air.
Well, no.
That's my theory, anyway.
Well, your theory's incorrect, because in the last hour, apart from the last two shows, within the last hour, we get, on some nights, we've had more phone calls in the last hour than we would get in a week on Straight to Air.
Yeah?
Yeah. So
what happened Tuesday night and Wednesday night?
They were rubbish shows.
I wouldn't say Wednesday night was rubbish, because you had Stu Phillips.
The Stu Phillips bit was good, but the last hour of yesterday's show was rubbish. Right, but that, if dropping the calls straight to air would surely only have an impact on the last hour, and yet last night we didn't have many calls. You're the only reason I'm talking to you now, Alan, is because
I'm the first caller.
You're the only caller.
Maybe it's the heat.
It could be the heat. Yeah, that is a distinct possibility. Or, and here's another possibility, Alan, maybe the wheels have come off this gravy train.
The end is nigh.
The end is nigh, Guy.
Come on, please call.
Well, let's not sound.
Save him from me.
Let's not sound desperate. I mean, desperate is as desperate does. There is, we're desperate, guys. Let's be honest. We just gave Alan 15 minutes of primo airtime. So, the way this works is very, very simple. You pick up the telephone, you dial 0844 499 1000. You'll speak to Kath or Id. They will call you back. So it don't even cost you that much, for crying out loud. Plenty of stuff to talk about. I'll tell you what after this. Yes. So this is happening now. This is a radio show. It is live. It's 10:16. After 11, Stephen Murdoch, ISO Solutions, computer expert. He's brilliant. If you've got any computing problems, and by computing, like you can't format a file, or you can't download something, or you've got a bit of tech that you're curious as to whether it's worth getting, 0844 499 1000. He'll be on after 11. He's here primarily to explain the phenomenon that is the Pokemon Go. So if you've got any questions about that as well. Then after 12, Pattie Boyd, with a brilliant pre-recorded interview. What I done earlier on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to Jimmy Savile. Can't go into Jimmy Savile. Although we'd like you to. Steady on. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, we call you back. What is there to talk about? Well, words that compromise letters. Oh, it's all words. Oh. Swalk. Norwich. You know what Norwich is? Hang on. Leon?
Hello?
You know what Norwich is, don't you?
Well, that's why I called up. I'm not Leon, that's my boy.
Oh, well, who's this then?
It's Joseph. I phoned you a couple of weeks ago.
Hello, Joseph.
Hi, you all right?
I'm good, thank you.
What you talking about Norwich for on the radio, then?
Huh?
What you talking about Norwich for on the radio? What's happened?
It's been destroyed.
Well, I hadn't, boy, because I can see it from here. I can see the bloody streetlights from here.
Yeah. Norwich means something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's for good family entertainment at the Riverside. And Asda.
Who's playing at the Riverside?
Riverside is a complex from all the villages outside of the city. We all go up into Riverside, and they got drinks. They got bowling. They got expensive car parks.
Yeah. Okay. And live entertainment, is it?
Well, if you, it's got the big screen. It's got the latest flicks.
So no live entertainment then. It's pre-recorded entertainment primarily.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Unless you go there after hours with me.
Why would I be doing that?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't, but I know a few blokes that I used to work with. Good 2.5, 3 years ago, they used to go up there. They used to go have a drink in the local, and then they'd hop in the taxi. They'd go up to the city about 2 in the morning, and I'll tell you what, you wouldn't hear until they're about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They come home. I don't know where they've been. I've never been with them.
Was it a...
Hello?
Was it a...
Hello?
Was it a...
Hello?
Was it a...
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
So what's Norwich on the news tonight, is it? Because I've just got my radio on and I've been walking...
Norwich stands for something.
Yep, good family entertainment.
No.
No?
No. The letters.
The letters...
Were...
When...
I...
Count...
H...
The honey. Is that right?
You were so close.
Pimpon.
Unfortunately, you were wrong, Joseph, but I appreciate you taking the time to play.
Blimey!
It's disgusting.
It really is. It really, really is. Here she comes. It's the Force's sweetheart, Catherine Boyle. By Force's sweetheart, what they meant was a dolly bird that soldiers could knock one out to.
Yeah. And your point is?
No point. Well,
their
point
was...
Thank you very much indeed, Catherine. Evacuate the premises. Catherine's just laid a joke. Oh, and she's flipping the bird at me. 0844 499 1000 is the... Patrick! Patrick?
How you doing?
Yeah. I'm all right, Patrick. I'm all right. I've had yesterday's show was rancid. Today's show's going to be a blinder. I know that, and that's fine. But I can feel it. I've had a long old day today of not really doing very much and just feeling miserable. Do you know what I mean? Just really, but feeling down in the dumps.
Well, don't.
Okay, well, that's that fixed. Thanks, Pat. I wish I'd spoken to you earlier.
I'm trying my best.
No,
I only rang up just to say hello, see how you're getting on.
Hello, Patrick. I'm all right. How are you getting on?
Yeah, good. Listen, quick question for you.
Yes.
I'm going to see the Bare Naked Ladies when you're going. Am I allowed to come and say hello?
September the 9th, dear listener, Friday, September the 9th, I am taking the night off work to go and see the Bare Naked Ladies. Why are you taking the night off work for a concert? Because years and years ago, when I was working at LBC, the Bare Naked Ladies were playing a concert and I didn't go. And I regretted not going. I could have seen them with Stephen Page. So I'm taking this one off. And I am going to take my two boys, and I'm if I play my cards right, I might get a picture of my boys with the Bare Naked Ladies. Patrick, yes, if you see me, you may come over and say hello to me and shake my hand.
Brilliant, that's all I want to know, because I'm taking my lad as well. So
how old are your kids?
Well, my lad and gum is 22.
I'm flipping it. Well, my youngest is 4. So, this is what I need you to do, right?
And I'll have Pokemon in common, sorry.
This is what I need you to do, right? And I'll do the same for you. I need you to come over and go, Iain, I listened to you on the radio. I think you're brilliant. You're the best thing I've ever heard. You're really funny and really cool. And then, what do you do for a living, Patrick?
I'm in construction. I'm one of the fellas who was making loads of noise when you were at 3 Counties. Okay. I was building that site behind you.
Oh, you were them. All right. Well, and then I'll say in front of your boys, hang on a minute. Is your name Patrick? Because I recognise the picture of you, because everyone's been passing around an email with a picture of you saying this guy's the best builder that there's ever been and everyone should employ him. And then that way, Patrick, both of us, we're failures, but in the eyes of our kids, we'll both look really successful. Huh?
Hey.
Would you do it, Patrick?
That's a done deal, mate. That's a done deal. I'll see you then.
It's an absolute done deal. I shall see you then, Patrick. Thank you very much indeed. 08444991000 is the telephone number. So I'm bunking off. Tris and Johnny, stay there. I am bunking off 2 nights to go and see, what do they call them? Pop concerts. To see pop concerts. I know, isn't that outrageous? I'm 43 years old. 43 years old, and I'm taking, I think it's like a Tuesday or something. August the 30th off to go to Liverpool, to go to the Cavern. And I'm taking Friday, September the 9th off. The one on Tuesday is a tricky one. Because I don't quite know how I'm going to play it. Because it's, am I going to drive up to Liverpool straight after work? No. Well, I could book a hotel, get there about, how long does it take to get Liverpool from here? 4 hours in the car? 3 hours. The thing is, Kath, I can't speed. I've got too many points on my licence. 7 hours. I don't know. Unless anybody in Liverpool has a house I can stay in. I don't mean that. Someone very kindly, we're going to Edinburgh. We're going to be doing the show from Edinburgh, one night. And I'm up there for a weekend doing a couple of other shows up there. And someone very, very kindly offered me their spare room. I have blocked the email address and forwarded their details onto the police because there's obviously, obviously, it goes without question, those guys are obviously perverts looking for a quick. And let's just say I shall not be violated. If I'm going to be violated, it's under my terms, okay? And in someone else's house, it's not my terms. Not my terms, guys. 0844 499 1000. Johnny!
Hip, hip, hip. Only joking. How are you?
Here's the thing, right?
Hey.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Have you got the hump tonight?
What?
Have you got the hump tonight?
What? About what?
I don't know, you seem very shouty. Oh, by the way, that Norwich thing doesn't really work, does it?
What noise thing?
Norwich, that Norwich thing.
Yeah, it does. Knickers off, ready when I come home.
Well, Norwich doesn't start as a K, does it?
Well, knickers can start with an N.
Well, it doesn't. It starts with a K, doesn't it?
Well, no, it can start with an N.
But that's not how you spell it, is it?
Well, it can. It doesn't. It's not quoting Shakespeare, Johnny.
You know them tickets you got? Are they a freebie? Or do you have to pay for them?
Which tickets for what?
Bare Naked Ladies. Are you going Bare Naked Ladies?
Have you been smoking fat reefers or something, Johnny? Because you're coming across as a stumbling idiot. Spit it out, boy.
I said, are the tickets free?
Yes.
All right. Calm down. Where's Catherine tonight?
She's in the other room.
All right. Stop shouting.
Well, what? You stop coming on with a massive attitude.
No, I haven't got an attitude.
Well, you came on pretending to snore.
I was doing a caduk. I was joking.
Okay.
Hey,
here's the thing.
Like
Here's the thing. Right?
Yeah, go on.
Here's the
Go
thing.
for it.
When we do our pretend snoring noises, we do the.
Yeah, I don't really snore, but.
Right, but.
Oh, whistling.
Are you listening? Are you listening,
yeah,
Johnny?
I'm listening, Mr. Lee. Go for it.
What? I don't understand why you're being a bellend.
I'm not.
Well, you are a little bit.
Sorry.
So we do the now that bit is a snoring noise, right? I've woken myself up with that noise. But
really?
no one in their sleep actually does the whistling bit.
Oh, you just did.
Yeah.
Oh, was I doing it? Was I going? I thought I was going.
I can't be bothered to talk to you. Why don't you say hello to say hello to Tris, because you're getting on my nerves.
Hey, don't be like that.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip. I think.
Hello, mate. How's it going?
Yeah. Listen, I was going to ask Ian what his favourite film was. He's a nah, not really.
No.
I was going to ask him what he's a film buff, isn't he? Ian, what's your favourite
Just
film?
you and me now, boy. I think.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I think I'll
my favourite film.
Feed him off. What's that?
What's what?
What's your favourite film?
I don't know. I've never time to consider it. What's yours?
Kodak.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Don't get it, I've upset Ian tonight. Ian, come back, I'm sorry. It's the second time.
You're on one, aren't you? You're on one, aren't you?
I called you last night, he was laughing
you
your
had
head
a
off.
bad day, fella?
Yeah, stressful, to be honest.
Yeah, what's happened?
Just a rubbish job.
You what, sorry?
Rubbish job, driving around London.
You're a driver, are you?
Yeah, it's not an Uber driver. It's just a courier. I hate Uber drivers. Yeah.
Why's that? What's an Uber driver? A German driver, is it?
Uber. You haven't heard of Uber?
No, what's Uber?
Uber drivers. Well, you know you've got the black cabs, and you've got the other drivers, haven't you? That do their...
What, minicab drivers?
Yeah, in the Prius and the Galaxies, and you'd notice them because they always like cut you up. The low standard of driving.
Oh, right. Well, I don't live in London, mate. So. Well, possibly. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm on the phone as well, mate. But I mean, I'm surprised with your scintillating conversation. He didn't keep you going. But there we go.
He's back.
No,
he's not.
He is. I think it's still you and me, fella.
Ian.
What did you call him for?
Ian. Oh, loads of things really. That Norwich thing didn't make sense, but maybe he's right. You can spell it with an N.
Yeah, that's from the Second World War, I think, mate. What else do you have?
Last night I called him about the our
Oh right, yeah.
Arcade classic games.
Okay.
Do you remember that? Well, you can get them all on the PS4 now. A whole lot for about a tenner.
Right, right, Johnny. This is the dullest. First of all, it was pole position, and secondly, this is the dullest phone call I've ever heard in my life. And I used to work in BBC local radio. We used to have to do phone-ins about potholes. We actually had to do phone-ins about potholes.
And this, LBC or free count?
This is duller than that.
Is it duller than dishwater?
Ditchwater.
Oh, good one, mate.
Oh, you know, like, what's time now? 10:30. You've been shouting for like 30 minutes.
Oh, I can shout for a lot longer than this, Johnny. You've been boring for about 6 minutes.
All right, sorry. I apologise.
Apology not accepted. Tris, stay there. I'll come to you after this. Okay, we can discuss Norwich. Andy has tweeted me that there is a mustard museum. Yeah, I mean, ever been to Norwich, Tris?
I think I might have seen back in the day an episode of Trisha film there.
What, you were in the audience?
Yeah. What was the question that got edited out?
Oh, what was the... Well, here's your moment to relive it. What was the question you asked? Don't tell us what the story was. Just give us the question. We'll see if we can work out the story.
Oh, Jesus, I don't know. Something about... It was about alcohol. I know I'm telling you the story. I'm spoiling it. Yeah. But it was about alcoholism and... I don't know. I was dragged along there because I did media at college and I was dragged along there for that and I didn't take it especially seriously.
I had a thing for Trisha.
Oh, right.
Very striking woman. Powerful.
She's a hit in the States now, isn't she, I think?
She does it in the United States of America. It's insane, isn't it? How did that happen? People, British people, you never thought would make it in the States, right? Trisha?
Yeah.
That Scottish fella. The short Ross King.
I don't know him.
Oh, Ross King, right. He used to present a Saturday morning kids show called 8:15 from Manchester. Right. And he was like a sort of bit of a journeyman, and he would be on, he would do like reports on like ITV and stuff. And then he went to America, right? And he entered a competition, like a reality show. And the prize was, you would get to become... 0844 499 1000, by the way. We're asking, what do you know about Norwich and British people you never thought would make it in the States? And the prize was to become a weather presenter on this massive American TV show. And
right.
he won it. And he won it, and he now lives and works in Hollywood. Now, you don't know who Ross King is, so that means nothing to you. When you saw his picture, you'd know him, and you go, flipping hell, really?
I'll have a little look.
Have a little look
on Google, and go, yeah.
I'll tell you else. Go on.
James Corden.
Thank you. James Corden.
Yeah.
What the... Now, listen.
They can keep him. I'm more than happy with that.
What the hell? What the hell are they seeing there that we're not seeing, Tris?
I don't know. It's beyond me.
It really has
he's not
me.
funny, is he?
I don't get it. I think... No. I've seen a bit of his American show, and I've seen a little bit of the sporting show that he did. Hey, we did ages and ages ago, right? God, this is embarrassing. I say ages and ages ago. It was during the leaner years for me. So it was about 6 years ago, right? I think I was in between radio jobs, and my agent got me and some of our other people on the sporting show that he does on Sky. What's it called? A League of Their Own, right?
A League of Their Own, yeah.
And what it was is we were going to do a dress rehearsal for the new series, and if it went well, we'd get picked up and used in the series. So it was kind of like an audition, right?
Yeah.
So it was me and a load of other comics.
You do not seem naturally suited to that show, I've got to say.
No. But this was at the point where I was like, I was desperate, right? Desperate.
Yeah.
And so we turned up and we started doing the show, but we had to wear... James Corden wasn't there, right? And we had to wear name badges, but they weren't our names. They were the names of, like, the people that they would normally have on the show. So, like, not Mad Frankie Fraser. Who's the cricket man? The drunk cricket... The man who likes...
Flintoff.
Freddie Flintoff, right? Yeah. And I think I was Freddie Flintoff and all these names and stuff, right? And... we started doing our spiel, so we'd be asked a question by the floor manager, was pretending to be Corden, right? And we'd been sat around all flipping day, and I think we were getting like 50 quid each, but if it went well, we'd get a bit on the show, is what we've been told, right?
Yep.
So we'd been sat around all day, and after about 5 hours, we got to sit on set while they did the lighting, and then we got to play the game. And we started off giving our funny answers, right?
Yeah.
And then the director came down and spoke to the floor manager, and he said, what are they doing giving funny answers? I just want the top and tail of their answers, not interested in what they have to say. Okay. And so this floor manager came over and said, we don't want the answers, just want a, 20-second top and tail of the answer. And one of the younger comics went, I'm sorry, I thought this was an audition to see whether we'd get on the show or not. And the floor manager went, what? And he said, and we all looked at each other, realising we'd been sold a massive pup. It was no audition. We were never going to get on a League of Their Own. We were just there as... they might as well have had a leg of lamb sat in our chairs. They couldn't give us...
You got paid though, right, didn't you?
We're about 50 quid.
Was that it?
It was humiliating, Tris. It was humiliating. And, I don't think I walked off. Did I? No, I don't think I did. I should have walked off. But it was one of those moments I thought, this is as low as it can go, for a professional performer and broadcaster to be a hired stand-in for basically what was a camera run so they could test the lights and the camera angles.
You think they'd just get some of the runners or something, wouldn't you?
You would! And they should have!
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, mate.
Yeah.
But at least you're over it now.
Yeah, I'm over it now! I'm over it now.
Hey, listen, you used an expression...
Hang on a second, stay there. Johnny's back. Yes, Johnny?
Hello, Ian.
You've just been on?
No, this is Marlon.
But, oh, Jesus. What, are you doing funny characters?
No. You had the previous Johnny on. My name is Johnny, but I don't want to associate with the previous Johnny.
Is it a different Johnny?
It's a different Johnny, so I thought...
I'm tempted...
Marlon.
I'm tempted to have a Johnny Ban.
Right, so should I change my name, like you did?
Could you?
Yeah.
What would
Is that how you do it?
What would you change it to?
I don't know. You changed your name, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I dropped the last name and shunted the middle name along. What's your middle name, Johnny?
Douglas.
All right, well, what we'll do is we're going to call you Douglas.
Okay.
And so just you call him back. We're going to get Douglas on, but it's another Johnny. I don't want any Johnnies on the phone tonight. Anyway, Tris, what was the point of your call, please?
Yeah, you used an expression last week, jagging. Do you remember about when you're into things like when you're only
you get on a jag.
On a jag, yeah. That slipped into my vocabulary now because I've got that sort of personality where I just get into sort of one thing for like a month. I'm a serial jagger.
It's a good word, isn't it?
My current jag, it's great because my current jag, I've realised, is trying to use the word jag as many times in the day as possible.
Yeah.
And much to everyone's annoyance, I was jagging on water yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was so thank you for that, fella. Also,
can I give you one more?
Yeah, go on.
Jonesing.
What's jonesing?
Jonesing is like, it's a drug term, right? It means if you're really desperate for a fix, you're jonesing for a fix, right? But you can be jonesing for a fag, you can be jonesing for the toilet, you can be jonesing for a sleep. It basically means you're desperate to have. You can be jonesing for a day off work, you can be jonesing for the weekend, you can be jonesing for a cheese sandwich.
Oh, mate, if you keep throwing these terms at me, I'm going to be divorced by the end of the year.
Beautiful.
I love these.
Beautiful. I'm jonesing for your final point.
Yes, mate. You're on a bit of a jag with Amani Coppola now.
Yeah, mate, I've just heard her new album. She sent me her new album yesterday that's not been released. She hasn't even got a record label for it yet. It is...
Well, I know someone with a record label.
What the hell?
You.
Yeah, oh, blimey. Her new album is flipping amazing. It's very, very so sweary. MF this, F this, S this... up yo, A this.
It's big and clever, mate.
But it's a brilliant record, and the last song on there, FaceTime, the FaceTime Continuum. Oh, what a song!
Well, I've got a little tip for you that I think you might like.
Go on, mate.
You might know them. Do you know a band called The Fiery Furnace?
No.
Oh, you're going to like them, mate. They're a brother and sister. They're a two-piece.
Yeah.
And I'll just give you a quick one on two of their albums. Their second album, Blueberry Boat, they play 80 different instruments between the two of them, and that is amazing.
What are they called? The Fiery Furnace?
Fiery Furnace, yeah.
All right.
And on their fourth album, Bitter Tea, it's a double album, but it's a double album like you've never heard before, because half of it plays forwards, half of it plays backwards. So you listen to it going one way, and then you've got to play it backwards to hear the rest of it. Mate, you would love it.
Tris, I'm going to check it out. Thank you for that, buddy. Darren and Douglas, wink, wink. Stay there, come to you after this. Yes, Douglas.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip. Douglas.
Evening, Ian. How's it going?
It's going very well, Douglas.
Yeah, sorry, you caught me off guard there. I was expecting to get the call back, and you just put me straight to air. You weren't doing that anymore.
We called you back.
Yeah, no, you have now. But the first time I was on, it was like straight on there.
So these things, I saw your name. I saw the name that should not be named flash on my screen. I thought, man, we got to nip this in the bud quick.
Yeah, no,
nipped.
He puts the name Johnny to shame. Oh, sorry,
Douglas. Why are you mentioning that name?
Sorry, I apologise. But you asked me to use my middle name, which was a bit of a coincidence, because I'm hoping you would join me in congratulating Aberdeen for getting into this. I know this isn't talk sport, but hope you're willing to join me in congratulating Aberdeen into getting the third round of the Europa Cup qualifying.
I am, because my second cousin used to play for Aberdeen.
Yeah, and what's his name?
Well, that's for me to know and then to tell you. Doogie Rugby.
Yeah, Douglas Rugby.
Yeah.
You know, I tweeted you a few weeks ago when you were speaking to Limmy, and you said that was your dad's cousin used to play for Aberdeen, and I was like, who's he on about?
Yes,
he's a bit of a legend, wasn't he?
Well, I don't really know.
I don't know what your relationship was with him, but
I'd never met
Aberdeen,
him.
He was a bit of a relationship.
Is he a legend? I never met him. I know that he came down to play for Chelsea for one season.
Yeah.
Guessing in about 1982, something 83 maybe.
84 to 87, I think he played for Chelsea.
Oh, was he there for that long? I didn't realise.
74 appearances, 3 goals.
I think he runs a garage in mechanics or something now. I don't know. No idea. I've never met the fella.
Yeah, no, he was a bit before my time, but you know,
he was quite rough, wasn't he?
About him, he was a bit of a hard person.
You can say hard nut. He was a hard nut. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He would go in for a tackle, and boy, you would get taken down.
I think he used to train next to Ibrox just to wind up the Rangers fans.
I don't know what that means, but I'm gonna laugh like I do.
Yeah, rival team.
I don't have a middle name now because Rugby was my last name. My name was Iain Lee Rugby, and then I dropped the Rugby, and now I'm just Iain Lee. And when I changed my name, I did seriously consider coming up with a made-up middle name. But
Did you not just swap the Rugby into your middle name?
No. What? No. Oh,
well,
no,
middle name your last name.
Oh, no, Mrs. So I don't have a middle name, and I often feel... I imagine I feel like an orphan, like a 6-year-old orphan feels when their parents go out to the theatre and they never return because they've been killed in a train crash. That's how I imagine I feel.
Okay.
Lost, whimsically lost and bereft.
Yeah. Okay. Good stuff. I was also going to say, last night, you and Kath have kissed and made up.
Yes. No, I apologise for being an idiot, and she considered my apology, and she'll let me know via letter as to whether that apology... No, I was rude to her, yeah, it was inappropriate.
But Pippa is hotter than Kate.
Yeah, totally, man. But no, you shouldn't be saying that.
No.
You shouldn't be saying that.
But then Kath is hotter than Iain.
What?
Kath is hotter than Iain.
I heard you.
All right, sorry.
Just said what? But then Id is hotter than Kath, and I'm hotter than Id.
I've yet to see Ed, so no comment.
I'll give you a comment right in your hooter, sunshine, my fisticle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is your family from Scotland, or are you...
My granddad's from Scotland, from Aberdeen, and my stepmum lives in Scotland. I might go and see her, actually, when I'm up in Edinburgh. So, but my granddad was from Scotland, and I've got a lot of sort of Scottish relatives that I don't really know very well. I saw some of them when I was a kid, and I saw some of them about 3 years ago, or 2 years ago, whenever it was my dad died. But I don't really know them that well. I had great trouble, because my Grandad Jock, he used to like a drink as well. And so we'd go round there on a Sunday, and he'd be down the boozer, and he'd come back, for roast lunch, completely K-lied, and he had a very, very strong accent, very strong accent. Now, strong accent combined with a lot of booze, and then him speaking to a 5-year-old boy. I couldn't understand what he said. Literally couldn't, and I'd sit there and just not have a clue what he said.
Yeah, that might not have been the drink, though.
It might not. He did have a very strong accent, and I couldn't get my head around it. And boy, oh boy, Douglas, what I wouldn't give to sit at his feet one more time and try and work out what the hell he was saying.
Yeah, it's a challenge. Anyways, what day are you coming up to Edinburgh? Do you know yet?
I'm coming up to Edinburgh on Friday the 12th, and I'm doing a show on Friday the 12th and Saturday the 13th of August. Free tickets, guys, free tickets.
Yeah. I can only get the Tuesday off work, so I'm going to see Bill Burr on the Tuesday.
Okay. I don't know what I need to find out what to see. I'm going to go and see Jake Yapp, because Jake Yapp's going to be up there, and I'm hoping I can get some free tickets off him.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else is worth seeing up there.
I would recommend an American comedian called Ari Shaffir.
Okay.
I don't know what his Edinburgh show's like, but he's a pretty good comedian.
Is it stand up? Because I don't really like.
Yeah.
I don't really like stand up.
All right. Okay. No, stand up's all I'm sort of.
Yeah, stand-ups are... if anyone's got any suggestions for what we should see in Edinburgh, don't phone up and say, why don't you come and see my marvellous performance of My Fair Lady, because I won't. But something a little... Literally, I get up there on the Friday and I come back on the Sunday, and I'm doing 2 shows, free tickets, guys. If you type in on Google, Iain Lee, War of the Words, you can get free tickets. Also this Sunday as well in London, but that's by the by. But any suggestions of good things to see would be gratefully appreciated.
Yeah, like I said, I'm only there the 2 days, the Monday, Tuesday, the 8th and the 9th, so obviously I'll miss your show, but if I was there, I would have come.
May God bless you, Douglas, may God bless you. Catherine, can you come in here and try and do something with the air conditioning, please? Because boy, oh boy, it's hot. Darren, stay there, I'll come to you in a second. Yasmin!
Hello, Iain, hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Yasmin!
Hello.
Hello there.
Hi.
Hiya.
How's it going?
It's going all right.
Glad to hear.
You're very giggly.
No, I'm keeping it together.
Wow, how comes?
Because I have to.
You must keep it together, Yasmin. Keep it together.
Yes,
Must
okay.
not lose it.
Yeah. Face straight. I'm composed.
Straight
and I'm
face,
ready.
straight composed face. Go.
Yes. Okay. You're talking about Norwich.
Yes.
Yes. I went to Norwich a couple of years ago on holiday.
What?
Yeah, and it's an interesting place.
You went to Norwich on holiday?
Yeah, I
your
know.
hollybobs?
Oh, it sounds so sad coming out of my mouth, but it did happen.
Why did you choose Norwich?
Because we wanted a holiday on the Norfolk Broads.
Okay.
So we were staying in a lovely townhouse, and it was great, and there were boats and swans and water and things like that.
Yeah.
But just outside of where we were staying, it was kind of peculiar because they didn't have any chain shops or recognisable brands.
Yes.
But everything was branded Roy's.
Roy's?
Roy's, yeah, I'm sure.
R-O-Y-S, Roy's.
R-O-Y-S, yeah, so they had a Roy's supermarket,
Yeah.
a Roy's toy shop, a Roy's, department store that was a bit like, if you remember C&A.
I do remember
back in the
C&A.
day.
Yeah, I do remember that. There was a very rude joke, wasn't there, about what C&A stood for? Do you remember that? Yeah.
Admittedly, I don't remember. I can guess what the rude joke was.
The punchline was something along the lines of, well, then what does the C&A in my knickers stand for, Grandma? So, yes, you can work it out.
Wow. But, yeah, and I remember distinctly in the Roy's department store, they had a massive CD section, which seemed really outdated anyway. And there was a CD of, I think it was 500 Irish jokes.
Oh, wow, I'd be tempted to buy that.
I know, I'm still kicking myself.
Yeah.
It's probably my biggest regret in life, not purchasing that. But yeah, it was a bit of a strange place.
And did you go to the Mustard Museum?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't fit that into the busy schedule.
Yeah.
No, but next time, if there is a next time, I'll endeavour to go.
We have an anonymous text here, 87222, 25 pence plus your normal standing charge, that says, I once had a fantastic bunk up in Norwich. That wasn't you, was it, Yasmin?
I don't think so.
Well, all right. Well, thank you for telling us about Roy's. I appreciate your call.
You're most welcome.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. 0844 499 1000. Yes, Darren?
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip. Darren, what you got for us, boss?
Oh, it's too hot. I cannot sleep. It's too hot. I'm melting. I can't stand it.
It is thoroughly unpleasant, isn't it? What's the weather? I thought it was going to rain today. I was driving into London and it got very, very cloudy, and I thought, come on, guys, this has got to break, and it doesn't look like it's breaking.
Well, it rained from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. where I am, and no joy. It's still too hot. I can't sleep. I hate it. What can I do, Ian?
Well, have you got a fan?
I've got. I suppose I have. Yeah.
Well, we'll turn your fan on.
All right, fair enough. I'll turn my fan on.
What? Why is everyone angry with me tonight?
Oh, I'm not. Sorry, I'm not angry with you. I'll phone you up after I've had 6 beers, so I might be a little curt. But I'm not angry with you at all. Don't take it that way.
Oh God, this is going to get awkward. What can you do? There's nothing you can do, really. Because I need to have the covers over me. I need to be covered for me to relax enough to be asleep.
I have the same problem. You pull the covers over you and you're too hot to sleep, but, you sit on top of them and try and stay cool, but there's no covers there. You can't sleep, can you?
I don't want to be one of those people that whinges about everything, but this heat doesn't do for me at all. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's appalling, and I think we need to do everything we can to bring a stop to this.
No, something should be done. I'm considering writing a petition and sending it to my local ombudsman.
That's an excellent idea, Mr. Lister, and I suggest that you do that. And I'm going to do a Twitter vote.
Well, that's a very good idea. Something has to be done.
Darren, thank you very much indeed. Something will be done. God damn it! Bad news, guys. The Roy's shops that Yasmin was talking about is in Wroxham. There was a massive fire there a few years ago, which did for most of the town. Roy's was burnt down. Can you believe it? Manny, stay there. We'll come to you after the news. Now, guys, is an excellent time. If you've got any questions of a computer or technological nature, or about specifically Pokemon Go, now is an excellent time to call up. After the news, we're going to have Stephen Murdoch, formerly of ISO Solutions, who is a whiz kid and knows everything there is to know. He's got his finger on the pulse of gadgetry and computers. So if you want to get a question through to him, 0844 499 1000.
Radio.
So, Manny, you're going to be up next. You could, dear listener, be on soon as well. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Coming up, we've got Pattie Boyd, as well as Stephen Murdoch, the computer expert. 0844 499 1000. I'm Iain Lee. This is the news on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Get an earful of unusual nocturnal emissions with radio's Lord of Misrule, Iain Lee. No relation, thank God.
Unfiltered Night Talk with the original king of unconventional conversation. Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
The show normally gets very, very busy. We've got special guests on. If you've got any computing questions, any technical problems, maybe you're trying to convert files, or your printer's not working, or which phone should you buy? Give us a call now, 0844 499 1000. It's Stephen Murdoch, formerly of ISO Solutions, although no longer with the company, and I've actually had an email from the CEO of ISO Solutions. I have to make it clear that Stephen was discharged from that company and has not worked for them for several years. Stephen, great to have you on board.
Great to speak to you again, Iain. Well, been a long time.
It's great. Are you enjoying? I was wondering, Stephen, the hot weather.
Right.
What's that like for you geeks?
Iain, there's more, let me tell you, there's more to us than just going around talking about, memory cards and PCs and what have you. That's pretty much the same as anyone. I'd like to just pick you up on something. ISO Solutions, we parted amicably. It was nothing on my behalf that happened.
Well,
no.
Legally, now that you've said that, I have to, because they're not here, and you'll understand this, Stephen, because they're not here, legally I have to now read the email.
Is it from James Barraclough?
Barraclough, yes.
Yeah, James Barraclough.
Barraclough.
He can say whatever he wants, and he's not there to defend himself. I just want to say this.
Well,
you
don't let me.
Go
on, say it, but just don't libel anyone, and I now have to read the full email from James Barraclough for legal reasons.
Right. Well, Barraclough, Mr. Barraclough knows very well what happened. Now you know, Iain, because I was doing deep clean of your hard drive, if I remember correctly.
And thanks for that. That really helps.
Okay, well, and that's forgotten now. I'm not saying anything to anyone, but Mr. Barraclough knows that I was working very hard for people, and yes, I took a certain amount of commission. That was not above and beyond what what was expected of someone in my position. I don't want to say any more than that.
An email from James Barraclough. It says, "Dear Iain, Great to be in contact with you. Big fan since the 11 o'clock show, Rise, and of course your show, Thumb Bandits. I feel embarrassed at having to say this, but I noticed that you have had Stephen Murdoch on your various shows, and then in brackets, LBC, Absolute, close brackets, and he's recently been on your new show on Talk Radio.
Right.
As you'll be aware, Stephen Murdoch no longer works for ISO Solutions.
That's true enough.
There were irregularities in certain payments. He was invoicing his clients that were outside of ISO Solutions' remit. Also, and I've got...
I know what you're going to say.
I've got to say it. Also, since he served time in prison for stalking Charlene Spiteri of the rock group Texas.
Well, they're not strictly a rock group, but go on. Soft rock, if you want to really define. I mean, some of the later stuff, Red Book, Careful What You Wish For, was slightly softer than what the earlier stuff. But go on,
Since he served time in prison, 18 months for stalking lead singer Charlene Spiteri of rock group Texas, we have done everything we can to disassociate ourselves from Mr. Murdoch. This is partly because a lot of his cyber stalking took place while he was on ISO premises.
Yes, that's right.
It was brought to our attention during the court case that he had secretly installed video cameras on the front and back doors of Miss Spiteri's residence in Scotland and London, and he was monitoring those using an ISO computer. Therefore, if he comes on your show again, please make it clear he no longer works with us and has not worked with us for some time. Yours, James Barraclough.
Barraclough is out of order because you know as well as I do that I did work for her, right? Now, all right, she didn't ask me to put camera on the back door. Okay, I did that, and that was out of my own pocket.
Okay.
We're talking about what I'm here to talk about.
Well,
I've actually moved now. I'm at James Kilkenny's Computer Solutions.
James Kilkenny's Computer Solutions.
Well, if you're really stupid about it,
Tell us about Pokemon Go. What is it? Why has the world gone absolutely nuts for it, Stephen? And how can we get the most out of it?
Right, Pokemon Go is an interactive game. It's available. I've actually served my sentence for that. I just want to get that quite clear. I want to get that clear.
Let's not dwell on it. It's fine. You went to prison for stalking, and I believe I'm like Timpsons, the shoe repairers and key cutters.
Right, okay.
They employ a lot of criminals. I am very, very happy to give people a second chance.
Well, first of all, it's quite a strong word. One, stalking. Secondly, criminal. Let's move on. Pokemon Go is an interactive game that's seen very popular at the moment, where people go out and they search for...
You'll often see young men, won't you, walking around looking at their telephones. Before it would have been Tinder or Grindr, but now they're chasing the Pokemon.
Right. So you can pick up there's fictional characters, Squirtle, Pikachu, Bulbasaur, Charmander, Weedle. These are some of the fun characters that you can pick up. It's all the rage. There's been a lot of worry about people wandering into roads, children not concentrating on where they're going. I've done it myself. I've knocked into something, knocked into a man up on Hampstead Heath. A bit of a minor misunderstanding. I was purely looking for Pokemons. Now, what I will say to you
with your trousers undone?
No. It's very warm. It's warm at the moment. You said that yourself. I was up there and I was enjoying Pokemon Go like anyone would.
Yeah, on Hampstead Heath.
Yes, and a man came up and said...
At night time.
I misunderstood what he said. He said, "You want a Pokemon?" And I didn't really understand what he said. I thought he was into the same sort of gaming as I was.
There's a story in the papers today. There's a story...
Bulbasaur.
There's a story every day about the Pokemon, it seems.
Yes.
Today's one is the Pokesessionals. You heard about this?
Go on.
Pros paid £40 an hour to catch Pokemon. And the thing is, as you know, Stephen, you got to catch them all.
Can I just get something straight? When Mr. Barraclough got in touch with you, how long ago was this? Was this recent? Because I've had dealings with him of late, and I'm not going to have it.
This was after the last time you came on, about a month
So
ago.
I didn't do 18 months.
Okay.
There's a certain amount in remand that I'd served, and it was nowhere near 18 months. But
Listen, Stephen, that is fine. I just had to read that for legal reasons, because I don't want to get sued, and I don't want you to get sued.
You can tell him if he writes back.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I don't want you to get sued, so I'm just doing that, and that is fine, and that is... What is it? Barry Kilkenny?
Yeah, it's Kilkenny.
Okay.
I was going to do a little, what we always say, if people, computer nerds, as you referred to them, want some help with the computer, and they say, I'm going to Kilkenny, I would say, well, what's he done?
Okay,
Which is
that's
our
good.
little...
That's that cartoon, isn't it?
It's a joke, yeah.
We got Star on the line. Star's got a question for you. Star, you're through to Stephen Murdoch.
Hello. The question is, I've had my laptop for about 7 years now.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's just started. When I turn it on, it'll be on for about 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden, it just switches off for no reason.
Right. Are you pressing a button? Sorry, if I can finish. If you're pressing a button in the top right-hand corner that looks like a sort of half a moon with a thing, because that's the off button.
No, I'm not
that will turn it off.
No.
Get Star. If you try not to speak over Stephen, he's a very wise man, and it's just a little bit rude. Go on, Stephen. Say that again. Sorry.
So, are you charging it? You have to charge, a device that if it's not directly powered. If it's not, you want to plug it into a socket, you can charge it and you can use it remotely. Are you doing that, charging it?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll charge it up fully, and then before I actually use it, I unplug it, and then use the laptop without the charger in. Right. Now, I've took it to somebody, and they looked at it, and they turned around and said that the reason why it was doing that was because it was old, it had never been cleaned, and he said that he cleaned it out for me, and it should work fine.
How did you clean it?
I don't know. All I know is he opened it up and cleaned it. That's all I know.
Sorry?
Sorry? He up and cleaned it.
Sorry, Star, say that again.
All I know is he said he opened it up and cleaned it. That's all he said.
Just cleaned it.
He opened it up and cleaned it. I mean, was he cleaning the actual software, or was he physically cleaning it with, some sort of liquid, fairy liquid or something? Because you must not do that.
No, he used a vacuum type thing.
What's the question, Star? Because we've got a lot of people want to talk to...
a vacuum?
Yeah. Well, all I want to know is because he said that was the problem, but it's still doing it. And I asked somebody else, and they said that it was the heat sink on the board. I put new paste on it, and it's still doing it. Huh? Could you think of anything else that it could be wrong with it? Because I've changed the battery; it's a brand new battery in it, and it's still doing it.
Oh, she's enough. Go on, Stephen.
Have you tried turning it off at the wall, then turning it on again?
Yep, tried that. It's natural.
But Star, have you tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, tried that.
Why don't you try that again?
I mean, with all due respect, Star, I'm a specialist in VPN, virtual private network, migration cloud-based systems. I don't know. I can't really speak about the battery on your. What make is it?
It's an Acer Aspire.
No, you should have bought a better computer.
No. You might do anything like
Star,
that.
I hope that helps.
Good luck.
Good luck, Star. Hope that helps. Let's.
No, I can't really. I mean, the thing is, without actually seeing that, I don't know. She's been to someone who sucked it off with a vacuum cleaner. I don't know that. I mean, when people talk about cleaning your PC, it's a question of cleaning the software. It's not literally cleaning it with, soap and water or a vacuum cleaner.
Let's go to Jamie. Jamie, you're through to Stephen Murdoch. What would you like to ask him?
Hi, Stephen. How you doing?
Hello, not too bad.
I'm having I've got a computer, and I'm having a problem with it.
Well, that's a start.
So it's like I'm having a problem with my floppy. So I'm putting it in, and then it's coming out again.
Yeah,
and I'm putting it in, and it's coming out again, and and it starts making a screaming noise, and then just ignores me.
Is this a euphemism? You got a floppy that you're trying to put in and out. Update your jokes. No one's used a floppy.
It's a really old computer.
I've cut him off, Stephen. I've cut him off.
You're an idiot.
I'm not having.
Look, I'm here. Look, with all due respect.
Yeah, I've cut him off.
What I'm doing, Will Kilkenny, is we offer servicing options for businesses ad hoc basis, cost-effective workshop repairs, remote support. I can't entertain people who are going to talk about the floppies. I know what he's saying.
He's talking about floppy.
Yeah, I know what he's talking about. Go on.
Floppy penis, isn't he?
Yes, that's what he's talking about. I know. Well, look, incidentally, don't stick one of those in your hard drive. Hello?
Very dusty in this studio. Right, let's go to
don't go at it with a vacuum.
No,
like a star.
Manny, you're through to Stephen Murdoch. What would you like to ask him, Manny? And just to warn you, Stephen, Manny's blind.
I want to talk to you.
I'm so sorry. Go on. Well, he seems quite chipper about it.
I want to talk to you. Ian, I didn't want to talk to you.
Oh well, let's
I got no interest in computers.
Have you? Well, I've got a question, Stephen. Because Manny is blind. What special computers are there out there for people who can't see nothing?
Well, I think in case you notice, you can feel the keys and you press them down the same as anything. I mean, I touch type. Obviously, I can see things.
No, not you. But I'm talking about Manny, who can't see things.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
You're coughing.
Hello? Question.
Manny, you may be blind, but manners maketh the Manny.
You got emphysema as well.
Are you talking to me?
Yes. You're deaf as well.
I'll give you a slap in the face.
What?
You heard? I'll give you a slap in the face.
I'm slapping a face.
I'll slap your bloody face. I might be blind.
Oh, no.
I could catch your face.
This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, Ian. You get someone on with breathing problems, you can't hear, you can't see. I've got I feel very sorry for you, Manny, but you've been rude to me now. I'm sorry.
I've cut him off now. Manny's gone.
God.
Right, let's see. Who's this on line 9? Hello?
Are you a Manny or are you a Mousy?
Manny's gone now. Who's this on...
You bird.
Sorry?
What?
You bird.
Who is this?
You ponce.
Who is this caller?
Christ's sake! What's going on? Hello, is that Manny again?
No, Manny's been cut off.
Well, who's that?
Get ponce.
Does anyone want any help with the computer or not?
You know.
Manny, I've cut you off.
That? Manny, go away!
Manny, put the phone down, please. If you can't see how to do it, get someone to help.
I wouldn't trust you with a computer, man. Put the phone down.
Put the phone down, Manny.
Perhaps we should do this another day. This is absolutely ridiculous.
No, hang on. We can. Hang on a second. Let's try this one. We've got Rob. Rob, you're through to Stephen Murdoch.
Hi, Steve. You all right?
Yes, fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, Steve. I've got a little bit of a question in regard to the Pokemon Go thing. Obviously, that's based on 90s nostalgia.
Right.
I'm just wondering if you've got any insights onto any other games. I think a Hail and Pace app would be really great for Nintendo. Have you got any thoughts or insights on that?
Well, it's funny you say that because when we started this conversation, you were saying we're nerds in the heat. I would like to introduce a game which is all about the fun side of computers. I like to think that, putting the fun back into computing, that doesn't work, but putting the fun back in. I've actually written a few jokes that appertain to technology. What have I got here? Did you hear about the guy who got caught in the rain with his laptop? Luckily, he had a Mac.
Just say that again.
Oh, sorry,
Stephen.
Hold on,
Is that the joke?
Well, all right. How many computer programmers does it take to change a light bulb? 2, 1 to change a light bulb, the other to discuss how much better the GTX 180 graphics card.
That is good. Have you considered taking this to Edinburgh, Stephen?
Well, that's what I'm sort of thinking. You mentioned the Hail and Pace, I think you're probably having a joke with me, but there's no reason why computers can't be fun. So, they're just trying to, maybe an app that's for nerds, if you want, for want of a better word,
Rob,
people who see the comedy in technology.
Yeah, Rob, you're into computers. What do you use computers for primarily?
Well, I put Poke into the app thing, and I don't think I've got the same app that maybe the rest of the people have got.
Yeah, that's another double entendre, isn't it?
It's basically, what happens is I see, like, the animal. Well, it's like beaver, and I've got to try, like, touch the beaver. It's weird. It's not Pokemon.
I think I've probably had enough of this now.
It's like
Absolutely
a beaver.
ridiculous. Go away.
I'm really sorry, Stephen. Is there
anyone who wants? I can actually offer.
Hang on a second, right? Let me just speak to the listener, right? I come in every night and do this show for you. I get paid quite well, but I come in every night and do this show for you, and I put my neck on the line, dear listener, to try and provide you with not only stuff that's funny and crazy and, anarchic, what you expect, but also stuff. How much do you charge an hour, Stephen? If I were to bring a computer to you, how much would you charge me an hour? Legitimately, not the bit on top.
No, very, very reasonably. It's probably £90 an hour.
£90 an hour plus VAT, right? You're getting this guy for free. For free. 90 quid. I'm not finished.
I don't want to be so heavy-handed.
No, I do, Stephen.
I don't see that.
No, I do. They are treating you. This guy has been to college. He's worked. He's done a little bit of bird. We're all close to being in prison, and you have got free computer advice, and you're phoning up to. I know what a beaver is. It's a vagina.
Yeah, it's pathetic, isn't it? Absolutely pathetic.
Let's try.
Let's try one more.
Let's try one more. Line 1, you're through to Stephen Murdoch.
Oh, hi there. Yeah, we since the Pokemon Go app come out, we've had a lot of children.
Here we go. At last. Away we go. At last. Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah, we've had a lot of children gathered around the house, and I went out there and asked one of them, and they said that it's some kind of official Poke stop outside the house, which is making them gather.
Oh, right.
Now, we've had problems. I've had problems in the past with people outside the house, and I have had convictions. I need to be upfront with you. But one of the kids said that the best
You've had what?
method
to be
of
upfront with me? Sorry, just a minute. You've had what to be upfront with me?
Oh, I'm just saying, things have been nasty outside the house before, so I'm trying to be.
I think he's a convicted sex offender, Stephen.
Oh no! Go on.
So one of the kids had said I'm best to get the app myself and then go up the street and hang my lure out.
Okay.
Pardon?
Hang my lure out.
So, Stephen, this is a tricky situation because a lot of public places. Me and my boys were chasing the Pokemon the other day. There was one in the back garden. We had to leave it. Very specific situation. Joseph is a convicted sex offender. A lot of young people hanging around outside his house. Does he want to put a lure out? I suppose. What can you do, Stephen, to get your house taken off of A, the Pokemon register, and B, the sex offenders register?
Well, in the first hand, I don't really know. Who puts out? Is it Nintendo or something?
I don't know. You're the expert.
I don't know about that specifically. All I can do is I would speak to manufacturers. I would say you don't want people outside your house. Secondly, I would try to get yourself on the sex register. And thirdly, I'd stop phoning up and clearly taking a mickey out of me. I've had enough of this.
Well, Stephen...
I'm not an idiot.
Well, Stephen... just remind us of the company you work for again, in case anyone wants to get...
Kenny, Computer Solutions, Hampshire.
Okay. I'm going to be up in Scotland next month.
Right.
Coming up to Scotland for the festival.
Right, okay. Okay.
And I was wondering if you'd like to meet for a quick drink.
I don't think so. Thank you.
Why?
I think this has probably been a bit of a waste of time. But thank you very much.
Really? No, I'm coming up to Edinburgh for the festival.
I've probably had enough now. I've got to have an early night. I'm going to a conference tomorrow. I spoke to you in good faith. I spoke to your producer, assured me there'd be no messing around.
It's not my fault the callers have been idiots.
What happens is, you get on here, you have a message from James Barraclough accusing me of doing time. I did nowhere near 18 months. That was a misunderstanding. I happen to love Charlene Peteria, and I love her work more than anything. You get a variety of quacks on here, freaks, making jokes about their lures hanging out, and soft, floppy drives and Zenas, and I think it's completely out of order, and I'm not going to do it again. So thank you very much. Goodbye.
Okay, Stephen. Thank you. Stephen?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you got. So that's. Can we look forward to speaking to you next month?
No.
Okay.
Good night.
Goodbye. Oh, very quickly, Stephen. He's gone. Will Guyot, the LBC's computer expert, has tweeted me. There's an email address for the developers. They can remove your Pokestop. Thank you, Will. We should look into getting him in next time. Okay, 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can carry on talking about Pokemon. The thing about the Pokemon Go is that it is quite a boring game, really. I mean, once the novelty of AR, augmented reality, has worn off, it's a bit of a rubbish game. The Pokemon are too far apart. They're bloody miles apart. Now, I'm going into London, well, not tomorrow, Saturday. That's what we're going, taking the boys into London, Saturday. And, we will have a little look around then so we can find any more. But otherwise, it's just a bit dull as a game, really. If there was some sort of fighting game where you could, like a karate game, you could go around. I don't know how that would work. Anyway, Gatford, Sam, stay there, come to you in a bit. Let's go to Mike. Good evening, Mike.
Hiya.
Hello, Mike. What you got for us?
Well, I don't like Pokemon Go either. I agree with everything you just said.
I like the idea of it.
Yeah.
But it's just a little bit... so you go around collecting Pokemon, and then I think you can go off and have a battle somewhere, can't you?
I think you have to go to the gyms, but you can't throw it down with the person you sit next to at work, which is why I thought that'd be better. If you have a bit of a Pokemon battle with the person you're with, or whatever, But if there's gyms. But the main reason why I'm ringing, I watched an interesting documentary tonight I thought you might like, or be interested in, I'm not sure.
Was it on YouTube?
No, although I watched the Iain Lee and Richard Herring thing on YouTube earlier, which is the first thing I've ever watched on YouTube. I felt like a modern man.
Yeah, good a bit. You'd never watched anything on YouTube before that?
I have, and not like kind of a solid.
Oh, okay.
TV. I've watched music videos and pictures of cats, things like that.
Yeah.
But never anything like a solid. So let me feel.
Was it any good? I've not watched it, and I will never watch it because I hate watching myself. Was it any good?
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought you came across quite well. I haven't watched it all, actually.
Oh.
Because someone came into the room and they were talking and I was trying to concentrate.
Yeah.
So I just got up to the bit where I think you were about to reveal why the two of you had beef. I'm going to finish it off next week.
We did. I like that. He was nice, Richard Herring, but I was incredibly nervous. And
you doesn't come across that way.
Well,
at all.
May God.
Well, sorry. So,
yes.
Not on YouTube. It's on the iPlay. Have you ever heard of the iPlay archive, which is old shows they put on iPlayer, obviously.
Do you have to pay for it?
No, it's free.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Arena Masters of the Canvas, which is a documentary about Peter Blake painting Kenda Nagasaki.
Peter Blake, who did the cover to Sgt. Pepper?
Yeah, who...
Painting the wrestler Kenda Nagasaki, who wears a mask and plays the drums?
Yeah, but Kenda Nagasaki is more of a spirit. This is in the interview. You learn is like a spirit who inhabits a man. Yeah, because you're learning it that Peter Blake's dream in life is to be Kenda Nagasaki.
What?
It's fantastic, man. You need to watch it. You have to look for it a bit.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's wicked. So, and the opening gambit is a scene where they're just, I can't remember the name of the guy who presents it. It was made in 1992, or at least 1992, getting dressed. And he's in a hair tone, he's getting dressed, including a penknife. Don't know why it shows you that. And then it all kind of, it's one of those where it intermittently goes through him I won't ruin the end for you. It intermittently goes through him getting dressed, and you meet Kendo Nagasaki's manager, who's a really aggressive cockney.
I bet you don't see him with his mask off, though, do you?
Well, because no one ever does.
No.
But then I went on to Kendo Nagasaki's website, and he's kind of got a bit of a cult, and if you email him, he will heal you on the 13th minute of the 13th hour of the 13th day of every month. He will heal you.
The Saturday afternoon wrestler, Kendo Nagasaki.
Dude, you need to Google it.
He's dead, though.
He's not dead. He's well alive.
Kendo Nagasaki is well dead.
Well, I'm sure you've got Wikipedia. We all have. No, he's not. I was on his website earlier on today. He's got a cult and everything.
Well, first of all, websites don't get updated when people die. I thought Kendo Nagasaki died about 10 years ago.
No, he was wrestling as late as 2008, which would have made him
rubbish.
Honestly, well, I know, Wikipedia can be doctor. One of my hobbies used to be subtly doctoring. Wikipedia was one of my favourite lunchtime hobbies. I always used to create horrible deaths for members of the band Five.
For members of who? The band Five?
I used to subtly make them die. Other Jeffrey Archer I used to do quite a lot as well. I've done it for a long time.
I can understand, but the guys from Five, what have they ever done to you?
It was technically it was trolling, but it was pre-trolling. I wouldn't do it now because I understand he's quite a mean. I wouldn't do it. It's quite mean and
writing horrible deaths for pop stars is quite mean. Yes, but
I don't do it. It was we've all if we all go back.
We haven't all done it. You were about to say we've all done it, and we haven't all done it.
I wasn't going to say we've all done it. I was going to say we've all been kind of idiots at some point in our youth. That's what I was going to say, which we all have.
Yeah, you're right.
Kind of idiots.
If the internet had been around when I was a kid, flipping it, I'd be in prison now for a variety of reasons.
Yeah, that's what really annoys me about when you get, especially, I don't get trolls on Twitter, but it really annoys when you get kind of 40 or 50-year-old people trolling on Twitter. You think, for God's sake. Anyway, irrelevant. Yeah, no, he's still alive. He's 74. So he was wrestling up until the age of 67.
Where was I? No. I was somewhere. I think it was when I went to see the Danny Baker show being filmed in about 1995. I'm sure it was that. They had Kendo Nagasaki came out and played the drums.
I don't know. His drumming isn't part of it, but there's a really epic scene at the end where they demask. They demask him, but it's just not what you think. It goes left field.
Well, if it's not what I think, it's a black woman then.
Oh, no. But it's even the end with it. So eventually they kind of, because no one does an interview with Kendo Nagasaki, you kind of guess they're going to do the interview with him, but it's just in a public car park in the dead of night. He just turns up in this massive Rolls with his market trader manager. It's dead good. I reckon I know you said you're probably going to do filming again, but I've just thought it's almost like a 1992 English version of Kung Fu Elliot. You're thinking, is this documentary actually real, or is this just...
Arena was the one with a message in a bottle floating on the sea, wasn't it? Yeah.
I'm a tiny bit too young to remember it properly. I was impressed with that as well.
Yeah.
It's real nice. And I like things where you get to see old-fashioned cars. I'm a bit of a simpleton in that way. You go, oh, yeah, look, he's driving a Ford Sierra.
Yeah. Do you know what, Mike? If I remember, I'll check that out.
I'll tweet you it. I know you're not on the Twitter, and I'm pleased. I'm glad of that. If it was making you sad, but I'll tweet you it, and therefore you can. Everybody should watch it.
Yeah,
and everyone can talk about it.
All right, Mike. Well, you tweet it, and I'll retweet it. How's about them apples?
That kind of feeds my ego. Be a little bit famous.
There we go. Well, a little bit famous, Mike. Thank you very much indeed. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. I've started reading. Where's my book? I started reading because one of you lot, said, "Oh, you should read this book." And so I got in touch with the author and I got a free copy. Harry Nilsson. Harry Nilsson, The Life of a Singer-Songwriter by Alan Shipton. Now, Alan's going to come on at some point. He sent me this, and he sent me a book about Billy J. He's written a book about Billy J. Kramer. And I went, we were just talking about Billy J. Kramer the other day, because someone's mum went out with him or something, didn't they? So once I've read this Nilsson book, and whoever recommended it to me, thank you, because it's brilliant. I've got right into it today. We're going to get Alan on to talk about Billy J. Kramer and a bit of Harry Nilsson. Harry Nilsson's a weird one, right? I'm aware of him because he wrote a couple of tunes to the Monkees. And I bought the Harry Nilsson box set, like all the RCA albums, about 18 albums. I got about 35 quid, 40 quid. And as I knew I would... as I knew I wouldn't, I have not played any of the CDs. Does that make sense? As I knew I wouldn't, I have played all of the CDs. As I knew I would, I have not played any of the CDs. I've played one. There's just so much. There's just so blooming much. But what I've heard of Neil tonight, some of it is stunning and some of it's like, that's hard work. So I'm going to make it my mission to get into Harry Nilsson, because I like the idea of Harry Nilsson. Thank you. I like the idea of Harry Nilsson, and I like some of the songs. He did an absolutely brilliant Beatles mashup. This is absolutely. Let me play this. Get Kath, because Kath would like this. Get Kath to listen to this, because she will like this. Let me play this. Hang on, computer. Do as you're told. This is. Have you heard the Harry Nilsson Beatles mashup? This is brilliant, right? This is, I think, his first album, Pandemonium Shadow Show. Have a listen to this.
My babe, don't buy me presents. How can you laugh when you know I'm down? Beep, 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 yeah. I got something to say that might cause you pain. If I catch you talking to that boy again, gonna let you down and leave you flat. Gonna let you down and leave you flat. Because I told you before, you can't do that. It's the second time I caught you talking to him. I got to tell you one more time, I think it's a sin. Gonna let you down and leave you flat. Gonna let you down and leave you flat. Because I told you before, you can't do that. Paperback writer, yeah. Everybody's green, sha-la-la-ooh. 'Cause I'm the one who stole your love. But if it's seen, sha-la-la-ooh, me talking that way, they laugh in my face. Son, please listen to me if you wanna stay. Would you like to know I can't help this feeling, I go out of my mind. Gonna let you down and leave you flat. Gonna let you down and leave you flat. Because I told you before, you can't believe in yesterday. My babe, don't buy me presents. You know I'm down. Strawberry Beatles forever.
Isn't that brilliant? And he's a kid when he's doing that. He's like 22 or 23 or something ridiculous when that's all him. It's all he's doing, all the vocals. So he's brilliant, but like the most brilliant people, sometimes they're quite hard to get into, and I need to do a bit of work, but this book is getting me very excited. So this is the book. You can see it at home, dear Periscopers, and we'll get Alan on to talk about it in a week or two when I've read it. Right. 0844 499 1000. Gatford Sam, stay there, come to you after this.
We have ways of making you talk.
Okay. Hey, my friend Scott posted the most heartbreaking photograph. 0844 499 1000, by the way. We call you back. Posted the most heartbreaking photograph I think I've ever seen. It was a skip full to the brim of cellos. All of them broken. A skip full to the brim of broken cellos. And you just look at them and think, oh, it's heartbreaking. Oh. I bet it would look good in a fire, though. Wouldn't it look good chucking a cello on the fire? How decadent. How decadent. When we're all nuked and society exists in a completely different format to what we have now, it will happen, guys. It will happen. Things like cellos will be worthless. All the cellists they'll have died straight away. They will, because they're quite fey. So the fey people will be the first to go. So cellists will go, and also we'll eat them. Because we will have a misplaced sense of what is important, and we will consider art to be unimportant. So we will eat the cellists. Yes, I did used to play the cello, but I had to stop it because I was too tough. And 4991000. And so we will mistakenly think that art isn't important, and so to keep ourselves warm, we will burn cellos and Picassos. And Rembrandts. We will burn them, because there will be no other material left to keep the fires warm, to protect our children. And then, like 100 years later, people will go, "Oh no! Ow! Where's all them Picassos? Chucked them on the fire years. Ow! No! Not the Picassos! Bum! 0844 499 1000. If you were involved in a nuclear war, what would be the first thing you would burn? Gatford's on the line. Good evening, Gatford.
Evening, boss. How's it going?
Yeah, good, man. Good. We got
big evening for this evening. Big evening.
Can I just say?
Okay. Yeah.
We've got coming up. Let me play you a clip of it now. Right. Coming up.
Is this Patti LaBelle?
No, not Patti LaBelle. It's Pattie Boyd.
Oh, okay.
Pattie Boyd.
Oh, Pattie Boyd.
Was married to George Harrison, and then George Harrison pretty much gave her to Eric Clapton. She wanted to go, and he wanted her. She's
a sad loss of two great guitarists.
I know. Anyway,
hold on. No.
I got to speak to her. I got to speak to her. Shut up. I got to speak to her a couple of hours ago, and we'll play the whole interview around about 12:30. But listen to this. This is her talking about the first time she was with John Lennon and George Harrison. The first time they took LSD.
We got up and went into the sitting room, and just chatting, and then John said, "We've really got to go. We don't want to miss them." And the dentist said, "You can't possibly leave yet." John said, "Why?" And he said, "Because you've just had LSD."
No.
John freaked out because he understood what it was.
Yeah.
George and I and Cynthia, no idea, never heard of it, didn't know why John was getting so angry. And anyway, that was it. John said, "Right, we're definitely leaving." So we left and we got into our little Mini. And I can't tell you what it's like. I don't know if you've ever taken a drug as strong as that, but you become so enormous in your mind.
Yeah.
And so 4 people kept growing and growing in this tiny little Mini. It was, it was surreal, and it was hallucinogenic. So it was very scary, and in fact incredibly irresponsible of the dentist.
Oh, of course, yeah.
To have given us this, and knowing George was driving too.
Imagine that. Imagine driving through London, being driven by George Harrison in a Mini, John Lennon, Cynthia Lennon, and you're tripping your nuts off. We'll play the whole interview later on. It's an absolute delight.
I'm going to the dentist tomorrow.
Yeah, if only everybody's dentist were as free and easy with that.
Yeah, but I'm a bit worried, because what if he does give me something like that?
Don't do, and I have to say, my boss thinks I encourage, I speak too lovingly of drugs. Trust me, guys, if you knew what I've been up to, you wouldn't. But I have to say this, we don't encourage drug use on this show, but she is simply recounting what was one of the most significant turning points in rock music history, the moment John Lennon discovered LSD.
Just say no, kids.
Just say no, but boy, she tells an amazing story. What you got for us, Gatford?
Well, I rang up to speak to Rupert Murdoch earlier, but I think he's gone as well.
Yep, Stephen Murdoch, yep.
His brother, Stephen. I was going to talk about the old Pokemon app, and I downloaded it, and I deleted it a day later, because it's rubbish.
It is. I mean, I'm going to try it again. I've got the kids tomorrow. I'm going to try it again with the kids.
It's fine.
Well, it's not, though. The problem is that it takes... So they're all so far away.
Isn't the thing, though, as well, that really you're just capturing them? You can have fights, but you've got to go to, like, approved places.
Yeah.
I didn't even get that far. I think I only caught one. And it's just like going around a map. But isn't there the problem that you could end up going to places you're not supposed to, trying to find a Pokemon?
Well, we heard a convicted sex offender calling in saying his house was a Pokemon stop, which is awkward, to say the least. But it's educational.
How?
Well, because you go to these places, excuse me, and you learn facts. It's particularly in London. There are lots of little facts about where you are. The little green opposite the Talk Radio studios used to be an envelope factory. So there's all this stuff, and I genuinely didn't know that. And apparently, I think it's in the V&A. You get facts about loads of the pictures and works of art and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. That's good, then.
In fact, tomorrow, Saturday, we're going to go to a screening of Finding Dory. And then maybe we'll go to the Science Museum. We might go to the Science Museum afterwards and have a little Pokemon.
They're all over it.
Yeah.
In that basement bit, I bet they've got Pokemon all over the shop.
Yeah. Going to have some of that. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll
do. The gift shop.
I got, yeah.
Good of you to tell us where you'll be. Everybody to the Science Museum if you want to see Ian on Saturday.
Hey, the Science Museum, right, is... Do you go to museums much, Gatford?
No, not now. I used to when I was about mid-20s. I did have a bit of a British Museum phase. I used to go regularly.
I'm gonna start doing it more, and I do it with the kids, and the kids are really good, right? Because they like even things that might be considered to be a bit stuffy, like the V&A. They enjoy that. They enjoy going and look at the statues and, but I'm going to start doing it more. I'm going to start doing it more on my own.
Do you know what really affected me? When they told me that the dinosaur was no longer at the National History Museum. Because that's like a...
It still is there. They didn't get rid of it in the end. They were going to get rid of it. I think well, here's the thing, right?
Because that's like from my childhood.
Yeah.
I remember going and getting,
Well, you're old.
Postcards.
Here's the thing. It's not a real skeleton of a dinosaur.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know
Well, I didn't know that until a couple of years ago. It's just like a copy.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's like in the middle of the room. If it was, like, real, it would disintegrate or something, wouldn't it?
Well, no, it's bones, man. But this is, like, made out of fiberglass or something.
Yeah, but, like, human bones disintegrate, don't they, over time?
No.
Really?
Sorry, I'm just, I'm just emailing the Beatles story.
Oh, right, yeah.
Anyway, go on, carry on. I'm listening.
No, I haven't really got much more. Cut me off.
Okay, I'll cut you off. Yes, Sam.
Hello, you okay?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. I was going to call up and speak to Stephen Murdoch.
Yeah, sorry for everyone. Can I just say we had so many people calling in, and right for everyone that phoned in and dicked around. Shame on you. Shame on you. Right. That guy has had a really rough few years, and I'm doing, as a favour, I'm getting him to come on and get £90 plus VAT per hour he charges, right? You had the chance to get free advice, and all of you phoning up with your floppy disks and your beavers, shame on you. It's not funny, Sam. Shame on you, right? You've crushed that bloke. I hope you sleep well tonight, you absolute arses. Anyway, Sam, carry on.
No, it's strange, because, he seems like a nice guy, but he's got quite a short temper, it seems. I mean, I'm not sure, but if he's Scottish, I'm Scottish, I've got quite a short temper. But anyway, I wanted to talk to him about Pokemon Go, because I spoke to you about it the other day. And it's strange, because, I've got really, really into it, and I like the premise of it. I love the idea of it. It gets kids out, it might help obesity in the future. It's beautiful. I love the idea of it. It's a little bit boring, it's a little bit tedious, the idea of it. But, going outside, going on long walk, I love that.
You don't need... Why do you need a phone to do that?
That's the thing, I get that. I do totally understand that. And, obviously, when you get the eggs that you have to walk, 5 kilometres, 10 kilometres to hatch them, that's quite exciting. But 10 kilometres, though, for a walk seems a little bit too much. I guess, 6 miles, I think, is it? 10 kilometres? I'm not very good
Something like that.
Yeah, and where am I going to walk to? I live in a really rural
What are you... Hang on a minute, just go for a walk!
Yeah.
Why do you need to walk anywhere? Just walk! When I got shafted last year, right, when I got shafted by the BBC, and this was pre-breakdown, because it didn't have the breakdown immediately, right, but when I was wobbling, I would go on what I would call my Zen power walks, right? It was the only way to get me out of bed, and it's before we had the dog, and I would just go, and I would walk, and we had fields, but I would just walk, and I'll walk and walk and walk, right, for about a couple of hours. and I would be creative. I'd be emailing people. I'd be emailing and texting Kath and plotting how I was going to break her free from the BBC. I would be coming up with ideas for shows. Go out for a walk, man. Go out for a walk. You don't need to go anywhere. Just walk.
Yeah, I mean, I make, when I'm going for my pokey walks, I call them, because I'm a loser, I make videos and that sort of thing. And, oh, by the way, I didn't tell you, I hit 10,000 subscribers.
There we go, you see. Now get every one of them to give you a quid.
Oh, man, can you imagine that? Fantastic.
Yeah, every one of those suckers to give you a quid.
Oh, man, I will, but, I mean, I could start selling merch, like start selling T-shirts with my face on it, but my face isn't the best, but...
Well, you're a good-looking lad, but you've got to be practical, right? You've got to be practical, right? I when I did my tour, I had a load of T-shirts printed up from Scott Balcony, and I sold a few in the first few shows. Then I got cocky. Now my loft is full of T-shirts that I got printed up off of Scott Balcony. So
I have one.
Well, yeah. So you can pay for it. So you don't. I'm not giving them away. We're talking about the fire we're going to start after the nuclear war. They'll be the second thing on the fire after the cellos, but before the Picassos.
You can give them to homeless people, to sleep on. You can give the T-shirts to homeless people to sleep on.
No. They can buy them off me. Sam, listen, I've got to go. We're going up to the news. Thank you very much. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. What are we talking about? We're talking about the Beatles, we're talking about computers, we're talking about Pokemon, we're talking about Norwich, we're talking about what you would burn if there was a nuclear war, we're talking about a big skip full of broken cellos. Basically, we're talking about anything you want. Here we go, let's have a little tease. For after midnight, we're going to have Pattie Boyd, but also we're going to have Jonathan, not the racist one. Let's have a little tease. Jonathan, you've got 10 seconds to tell us what you're going to be talking about after midnight. Make it good so that the listeners come back.
A very special show at the Science Museum.
Okay, we'll have good stuff as well. All right? So, flipping it.
Talk Radio.
Dear listener, lots to come up in the next hour. We'll talk more about the Science Museum. I was joking. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. You can give us a call about anything you want. You've got the next half hour or so, because after that it's Pattie Boyd. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio. Here's the news.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine. It's a death-defying life I lead. I take my chances. I die for living in the movies and TV. But the hardest thing I ever do is watch my leading ladies kiss some other guy while I'm bandaging my knee. I might fall from a tall building, I might roll a brand new car, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that made Redford such a star. I've never spent much time in school, but I taught ladies plenty. It's true, I hire my body out for pay. Hey, hey, I've gotten burned over Cheryl Teague's, blown up for Raquel Welch. But when I wind up in the hay, it's only hay. Hey, hey, I might jump an open drawbridge or Tarzan from a vine, 'cause I'm the unknown stuntman that makes Eastwood look so fine.
It's just dawned on me. Pattie Boyd came on to promote the exhibition at the Beatles Story, who are now very kindly following me, and I think they're following you as well, which is a thrill. And I think she only mentioned them once, and I think she might have got the name wrong. So, I'm more than happy to do the business that we may have missed in that. Basically, Beatles Story is this brilliant Beatles exhibition, and they're showing this whole exhibition of all of Pattie Boyd's amazing, and they're genuinely amazing photographs of her with George Harrison and Eric Clapton. If you want more details, BeatlesStory.com, right? BeatlesStory.com. They're also on Twitter, at Beatles Story. And she's going to be doing a book signing as well. And boy, oh boy, if I was anywhere near there, I'd be there for this. On the 26th and the 27th of July, she's going to be there in Liverpool at the Beatles Story, signing copies of her autobiography. And the exhibition, I think, goes on for quite a while, actually. Goes on for a while. So that's all the business side. And we kind of I was so in awe of her and enthralled and a little bit in love with her. Do you know what I mean? Wonderful. That we kind of forgot to do some of the business that we were meant to do. So we talked about it a bit, but at Beatles Story if you want to find out more, or BeatlesStory.com if you want to find out more. And if you get in touch with them and you do go, tell them you heard about us on here. And maybe we'll get someone from Beatles Story to come on the show at some point and have a little chitty chat about them Beatles, because they're good, isn't it? 0844 499 1000. We'll play the interview a little bit later on. Jonathan!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, hip, hip!
I was at the Science Museum today, actually, so I thought I'd call in. There's a really fun new show there, which is kind of perfect if you're bringing the boys along.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. Today was a preview, and all I knew was there were going to be games and game consoles, and people could just sort of rock up and play. And there was also kids there as well, and that normally doesn't kind of go together.
Oh.
It was really fun. There's just a range of consoles from when they first made, really. So there's like Commodore 64s, Ataris, Mega Drives, and also Xbox Ones.
I can't take my children to that.
There's Minecraft.
They don't know about video games yet.
But it was so nice seeing parents and children just kind of sharing experiences with each other in a way that had never been done before, because the parents were being like, oh, we used to play on this, and the kids were really getting into it. And then the kids were playing Minecraft, and the parents were like, oh, so that's how you do that.
Hang on a minute. How much is it going to... Because these exhibitions you've got to pay for, isn't it?
I think it's £8, and it opens tomorrow. I got it free, but yeah.
I might do it. My worry about those things is they get really crowded, and you can spend all day waiting to have one go on Pong.
Yeah, I think it's being quite strictly regulated, so there's 90-minute slots, but I know what you mean, because sometimes you're just kind of hovering over the one game you want to play.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Oh, I bet it's brilliant. There was a games exhibition, I mean, God, this was years ago. Was it at the Royal Festival Hall? And they were rather flatteringly, they were showing the documentary I'd made about video games as part of the Hexhibition. Well, I would like to go to that, and my children would get in my way. That would be the problem. I will have a look at... The Science Museum is flipping fan-bloomin-tastic, though. It's absolutely
amazing.
Great. It really is a magical, magical place.
We're so lucky to have it, really. It's easy to take it for granted and just be like, oh, there's museums and stuff, but they're fascinating. It's amazing that we've got those.
Yeah, I'll take you for granted in a minute. I don't know what that means. Thanks for calling, Jonathan.
Cheers, bye.
Daddy, bye. Let's go to Chris. Yes, Chris. Chris? Chris? Chris, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey! Flippin' heck!
Sorry, Ian. I was just trying to send a message to my friend saying listen to me.
Did you get the message to your friend? Did you send it?
I'm not sure.
So we'll check you've sent it.
Well, I can't. I might turn the phone off by accident.
Well, if you do, we'll call you back. This is important stuff, Chris.
Really?
Yeah, go on, send your message. Go on, we'll wait.
Well, I'm going to have to look at the phone.
I tell you what, hang on a minute. I can play a little bit. How long? 30 seconds. Will that be enough?
No, I'll do it in 7 seconds.
All right, 1.
All right,
2.
Can we start fresh?
1.
Yeah.
2. 3. 4. 5. 6.
Yeah, it's gone.
7.
Sent.
What did the message say?
saying, listen to me right now, because I'm talking to the Master Lee.
Okay.
He doesn't even know who you are, but I do.
Never mind. What you got for us, Chris?
Well, I'm a little bit mash up, and I was just gonna, is it possible to fall over when you're laying vertical?
Yes.
Have you done it?
Yeah, many, many times. That's why I don't drink anymore. What happened?
Well, I'm just laying, it's not even a bed, it's just a mattress on the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm laying down.
Uh-huh.
And I fell over.
Yeah. It's like, it's the next step on from when you fall up the stairs. We've all done that. You fall up the stairs. You're so mashed up you fall up the stairs. And then falling over when you're lying down. That happens, man. It happens. God, you really are mash up, isn't it?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Good night.
But I like you. You're all right, you are. I thought I'd say that.
I like you too, Chris. You're all right.
Wait, you don't know me, boss.
Huh? I don't know you. I feel like I know you. I feel like we're kindred spirits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's really? Because actually,
I'm picking up.
I know where you live and stuff.
Hey! What the heck? Oh, that reminds me. So, you know, I got a letter the other week from a nut job.
That was me.
No, I get these letters.
Another one.
I get these mauve letters, right, from someone. They first sent one when I worked at the other place, at BBC, right? And it was really angry. It was a really angry letter, and it was rude about me, and it was rude about Catherine, right? And then I started getting letters here, and they're really nice about me. But here's the thing, right? Well, this one isn't even nice about. It's just put your name on it. Put your flipping name on it, otherwise you're a psycho.
Maybe his actual name is anonymous.
I'm showing the latest instalment of my Stalker Press to...
My mother named me anonymous.
Okay. You really are out of it.
Just for a laugh.
I tell you what, why don't you phone up tomorrow and I'll tell you what you said tonight. Now, they have made me a Jackie magazine cover out of purple. It's always purple paper. Sorry, a bit girly, getting into drawing fashions, especially from Jackie magazine, the 70s. I made a wraparound skirt. There's a picture of a skirt. I made a wraparound skirt like this at school, aged 12, at Bredon Hill Middle School.
Been there.
Big love. Have you?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yes.
Have you really?
Yes.
Where is it?
Well, you just said.
Okay. Big love. Hope you feel better soon. Loved, Miranda Sawyer. Loved the show, July the 12th. Young Girl Thing in Says feature. Thank you. Very good, says that show. P.S. Don't use Febreze in your house and not on your dog. Accept the dog smell and open your house windows every day. Use light lavender or mango natural spray from Body Shop. Or I don't know, something like mint spray. Your dog's skin could become irritated using Febreze or stuff like that. Very bad for dog. Put jumpers on and open windows regularly. You have a good voice. Body Shop
or jumpers?
The Body Shop is available online. I like the Young Rascals guy. Great hearing his philosophy of life. Here's the thing, right? If you don't want to be considered a complete and utter fruitcake, don't make little comics. That's, there's something kind of vaguely nice about that and cute. But put your name on it. Don't send. What was that?
Sorry?
Don't send anonymous letters giving me advice on life, you freak. Absolute freak. And I can say that because it's weird, and B, the first letter she sent me was really obnoxious, and I found it. I found it in the boot of my car, and I've got it somewhere, and I'll bring it in and I'll read it.
You sound different on the phone.
No, yeah, I sound different when you're on drugs, Chris. That's what that is.
No, but you actually sound different than you do on the radio.
Keep on tripping, buddy. Keep on tripping. Enjoy the buzz. My hands feel funny when I'm touching things. 0844 499 1000. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. Yes, Ollie.
I like you, Ian. You're alright.
Everyone gone mash up tonight.
No, I'm well behaved on a Thursday night.
Good for you. The weekend starts, well, in a minute. No. What you got for us, Ollie?
I'd like to let you know what you were doing exactly 10 years ago today, if that's possible.
Oh, that's genuinely terrifying. Hang on a second. I don't know if I want to know. It's like, let me consider the philosophical ramifications. It's in some. What are you doing?
Me?
Are you outside?
No, I've got my fan on because it's boiling.
Okay.
I'll turn it off.
Go on, because it's just a little bit noisy and I want you to suffer. It's like, asking, do you want to know when you're going to die? Right. And your first thought is, yeah, of course. And then the second thought is, oh, what if it's tonight?
Well, it is tonight. Not you dying.
No. Or what if it's in, 60 years, but all my family will be dead?
And you know it's coming.
Yeah. So do I want to know what I was doing 10 years ago this very night?
It will take 30 seconds and it'll be worth it.
Let me see if I can... Let me try and work this out scientifically. So 10 years ago, it was 2006.
Yep.
Was it... What day of the week was it?
It was...
A Sunday. It was a Sunday, wasn't it?
It doesn't say.
Okay. All right, I would have been on the radio talking nonsense.
But there's a brief summary for 30 seconds.
Beautiful. Let's have it. I'll have it. Let's go for it. I'm in.
Okay, well, I hope you can hear it properly. It's from my laptop speakers, so...
Whack it up nice and loud. Go on.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
If you missed the show today, it was Music Thursday. It sounded like this. Apologise to London. Cats can get through the tiniest cracks. Just bite on a bone or something. You've got a fine set. Hey, how big are your bongos? This is why this show deserves an award. I don't sound like a proper hostel. You got your Darabooka legs down? Deserving a pork chop, and I remember the fat glistening on
Barry
her
from
upper
Watford.
lip. Why you laugh at me? I can chop that in a minute. Listen, man, I hate you and Ferry together. I bet you 20 quid I've not got parasites on me. But I'm going to be second fresh. Wow. Sorry, I couldn't believe that all happened today.
Did you get that?
I did get that. Turns out not a lot has changed in 10 years. Barry from Watford. Was that Lynn from Forest Gate on there as well?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Lynn from Forest
She's
Gate.
been
Talk
driving
like
me
that.
nuts.
I'm Lynn from Forest Gate. I want to talk about Knocker's Fat Ferrari.
Ian.
Clivey.
I think this might be verging on. I'm not sure about the accents. I'm not sure about
No, those are allowed. Those accents are allowed. As long as you don't go, oh, bloody hell. That's not allowed. Well, thank you for that, Ollie. That was a delightful little glimpse into how little I've travelled in the last 10 years.
No problem.
Ollie,
have a lovely night.
Thank you very much indeed, Ollie. There we go. Ah, dear. It turns out not a lot of this act has changed, dear listener. Not a lot of this act has changed. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, we have 15 minutes left for you to call before we play the excellent chat I had with Pattie Boyd. And it's a must for anybody who is a fan of rock music, the Beatles, Clapton, and a posh woman talking about going tripping. Really. We'll have some of that in a little bit, and we'll put it out as a podcast as well. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. You can hear I'm stalling a little bit because I can see the team trying to connect. There we go. We'll have Pablo first. Yes, Pablo.
Hip hip hip.
Hip hip hip.
You all right?
I'm good, thank you, Pablo. What you got for us?
I don't know if you saw this thing, it was in the newspaper a day or two ago in regards to computer game violence.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was just one of these things that the ultimate end of the study seemed to basically say that children under the age of 6 shouldn't be able to watch or play certain games, but if I'm not mistaken, the particular games in the study were Grand Theft Auto and another 18-plus game.
Yeah, well, yes, of course they shouldn't. They shouldn't also be watching violent movies or reading violent books.
Well, I think that's the misstep. Admittedly, I was in a cafe and I was reading it in the Daily Mail, so obviously it had a certain slant on it. But I think it was kind of a misstep in the survey. Surely all that points to is the fact that computer game certification isn't as hardly.
Parents don't take it, but a number of parents don't take the certificates on computer games or movies as seriously as they should do. But then the Mail is just nonsense. The Mail constantly screaming.
And I know it takes us back to that instance where there was that. It was a friend who'd killed a friend, and they'd claimed that the game Manhunt was.
Manhunt. Oh, I remember Manhunt. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a dark game, but it was quite a good game. But it was brought up in the whole fact that the killer had this game, and he was obsessed with this game, and ultimately it turned out it was the boy who'd been murdered who had the game, and they played it at his house. So it was, ultimately it was the person who was murdered who was obsessed with the game, not the person who.
You can't stop people being nuts, and that's kind of what it boils down to,
Yeah, but I think that was ultimately the thing. It was just kind of a case of there's a study being done, lots of money being spent on it, and the ultimate result is do exactly what it says on the tin, whereas surely the logical result from that would be maybe we should be a little bit more hard line with certification of computer games.
Yeah.
We should treat it in the same way we do with films, with any other with alcohol, with something like that. But and equally, it would be when I'm playing online games, I'm not going to have some sort of child swearing at me, and I'm going to feel I can't swear back.
The number of times
the law at the door.
The number of times I have played violent video games online, only to be team killed by a 12-year-old. You get these Rainbow Six is the game I keep going back to, and you constantly get 12, 13-year-old kids shooting you and stuff and effing and jeffing.
Well, the way I always seem to find it is it's often American children who, obviously I don't know about the cultural, racial divide between countries, but children in America seem to be very fluid with the racial epithets. The N-word.
Oh, the N-word gets thrown around all the time.
I'm an N this, I'm a gay N that, I'm a this, that and the other.
Yeah, they love throwing the N-word around, those American kids.
Yeah, and it's one of these kind of things of I try and educate, and then you kind of feel a little bit weird.
You're not gonna be able to change the opinion of someone via Xbox One.
Well, I'm a PlayStation man myself.
Oh well, in that case, maybe you will. The PlayStation guys are a little bit more open-minded.
Well, the network has been hacked enough times. I think they must have some sort of connection with the what are called I want to call vendetta people, but they're not called that. Or the hacker people.
The hackers.
Those the ones who like to wear the Viva Vendetta masks.
Yeah. Oh, those idiots.
Yeah. We can't say them out loud, otherwise they'll come and get you.
Oh, those idiots on 4chan. Oh dear, grow up, darlings, please.
You're taking the Lionel Blair approach.
Oh, well, the 4chaners are idiots, and if those don't know, they're just a bunch of trolls. And now I've flashed the bat signal in the air. 6 of them will try and hack me. Well, okay.
On that kind of subject, I will say I had a interaction with Jonathan, the radicalised Jonathan.
Yes, that's an excellent way of putting it. Radicalised Jonathan from Swansea, yes.
And I will say, to be honest, I kind of I put something out there because I'd often heard you talk about.
You went fishing.
Well, I'd always tried to find his Twitter feed, but I'd never heard it mentioned. And fair play to you, publicising what he puts out there. You're just saying what he says.
Yeah.
But I'd always tried to find him, and I couldn't find him. And then I put something out there, and he tweeted back. So I was like, right, now I get I get to see all this that's out there. But then we ended up having quite a nice discussion about Judge Dredd. So
This is you can talk with radicalised people about fun things, and then they blow your head off. That's it's
I see. Oh, and equally, I know Film Ring was mentioned earlier, and you're probably not doing it again, but just on a musical bent, Not Dead Yet, the Jason Becker story.
Now, why does that ring a bell to me?
Well, Jason Becker, he's a musical prodigy, and I think I've tweeted you a few times about it because it's an inspirational story. It's a guy who was picked up by what's his name from Van Halen, the main guy from Van Halen, not Eddie Hagar, the other. Jason Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth, yeah.
Yeah, David Lee Roth. He was like a child prodigy. He was picked up by David Lee Roth in his new band, post Van Halen, and everybody was saying he was this like brilliant guy. And then basically part way through a tour, he started having issues with his hand. He couldn't clasp his hand properly.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting diagnosed with, I think in America they call it Lou Gehrig's disease.
Yeah.
And he was basically given about 6 months to live. And the story, it's basically this documentary maker who's like just thought, I just remembered this guy, and everybody seems to have forgotten about him. I want to pay tribute to this guy who obviously died when I heard about it. And as the research shows, he's
not dead yet.
Very, very much still alive, and making the most of a bad situation. But
Pablo, I will check that out. Now I have access to every movie ever made anywhere in the world. I will check that out. Manny! Let's try again. Manny!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Manny!
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
I don't know why you put me on to Mad Murdoch for.
I thought you'd called... I do apologise. There must have been a problem. I thought you'd called in to speak to Stephen Murdoch.
Welcome to speak to you.
Well, I do apologise. It got very, very confusing there. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
That's okay.
I've fallen off the wagon.
Oh! What happened?
I went to Canada and America. I went to a wedding.
Yeah. Tough gig.
I didn't have a drink at the wedding.
Yeah.
And somebody gave me a drink and said it was lemonade and just started. And now I'm in pain, my legs are hurting, my arms are hurting. I haven't had a drink for 4 days.
So how long did the drink last?
About 6.5 months.
There we go. 6.5 months?
Yeah, maybe 7 months.
What of not drinking or drinking?
Not drinking.
Right, so how long did you drink for?
2.5 weeks there. It's been a week and a half since we come back, and I stopped again on Monday because she took my cash card off me.
Good.
And she hid everything at home.
How
and
did
I'm in pain. My legs are hurting.
I bet
my
you
arms
are.
are hurting.
I bet you are. What did it feel like when you were drinking again?
The first one was absolutely beautiful.
I bet it was. Yeah. Second one?
Better, then drunk.
Yeah?
I was drunk after about 3 or 4.
Yeah, of course you were. But you couldn't stop, could you?
And I couldn't stop.
Yeah. Did it get messy? It doesn't always get messy, but did it get messy?
No. She had to, we were in different countries, so she had to go with me everywhere, all in the bloody end, when I don't know where I am.
Yeah.
And she got pissed off with that, and come back here, I carried on, and then she's hid everything at home. She took my cash card off me, so she just gets my fags or anything I need, but she won't get me no booze.
Good. So you know why she's doing it?
Save bloody money.
Yeah, well, she's doing it because she loves you, Manny.
I know she's listening to your show today at work.
Yeah.
And she goes, what was going on? I said, I want to speak to Iain.
Do you want to stop drinking?
I'm going to stop. So I haven't had a drink for 4 days now.
Yeah, but do you want to stay stopped?
I'm going to be stopped now. I'm not going anywhere again.
I'm not. That's you're not. You're ignoring the question. Do you?
Yes, I want to stop. Yeah, yes. You know, I used to drink before.
Yeah.
Be drunk in the morning.
You were a mess, mate. You were a mess. Because you used to phone me at the other place, and you'd be steaming at 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning, or completely hungover.
I know, but I've done good for 6.5, 7 months. It's just I went to this bloody wedding and just started again.
Yeah, well, you can start stopping again.
I've stopped since Monday.
Beautiful. Well done. Well done.
Today, so.
Well then,
how are you? How's the kids? How's everything?
You're doing what I like to do, which is when it's getting a little bit too raw. Just changing the conversation.
No, I was going to ask you anyway. I'd catch you.
Everyone is fine and dandy. I've got the boys tomorrow.
I don't know what you're moaning about your show for going down the pan. I don't think it is.
Well, no, hang on. It's only yesterday's was pony. Yesterday's was rubbish.
One day.
Never mind, Manny. Never mind.
Take care. Ta-ta.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. There we go. That's my technique, is when the questions are getting too probing, to go, yeah, okay, so how are you doing? How are you doing, guys? That's the way it goes. Well, we're now at an awkward stage of the evening where there's not really time for any more phone calls. If you phoned in now, you get like a minute, but there's not really time for any more phone calls, because we're going to go to a break in a minute, and then we're going to come back, and then we're going to talk about Pattie Boyd, and we're going to play that interview. And there's not really enough time for me to go through the papers and look at any stories. So what do I do for the next 90 seconds? Well, not a lot, but I can use it. This is what I can do, actually, is I can use it to remind you, dear listener, of the podcast that we do. Thank you very much indeed. We dropped down to number 70 in the charts. What the hell is going on there with that? So, there is a daily best of, it's about an hour long, podcast, and you can get it on iTunes or your usual podcast provider. Now, I don't know why people have beef with iTunes. I use iTunes and it works for me and it's groovy. I know some of you, a significant number of you, don't like it. So, wherever you would normally get podcasts from, get them from there, whatever your podcast provider will be. And if you type in Iain Lee, IAINLEE, and Talk Radio, then it pops up. And you can go and get them, and if you subscribe to them, that will be awesome. And if you leave nice reviews, that, dear listener, would absolutely be... How the hell did we slip down to number 70? We were in the top 10, then the top 20, then the top 40, then the top 20, then the top 30. And then I looked yesterday and we were in number 70. That's outrageous, guys. It's up to you to take a stand, okay? Do you dig it? Excellent stuff. Thank you. Right, so, Pattie Boyd, who's she? Let me set the scene a little bit before we play the interview. So, she met George Harrison on the set of A Hard Day's Night, and they got married and stuff, and she was at some of the most pivotal moments in the Beatles' history, and in turn, in rock music history. She was there, and she saw it happen. Some of them she made happen herself. And then there was a lot of drugs with George and stuff, and she kind of fell in love with Eric Clapton, and Eric Clapton fell in love with her, and George was putting it around a bit, and she ended up going off with Eric Clapton and marrying Eric Clapton. And she has got 3 of the best love songs of all time written about her. Something by the Beatles, her. Layla by Eric Clapton, her. And Wonderful Tonight, about her. They're all about her. Imagine that. Imagine being that muse. We talk about that during the interview. I I wasn't quite sure. I'd never seen her interview before. I wasn't quite sure what to expect. And as a huge, self-proclaimed Beatles geek, I had a ridiculous grin on my face the whole time. She would have answered anything I'd asked her, to be honest. I did the usual, if I cross any lines, just tell me to jog on. She would have answered anything. But, I was very respectful of her. What you're going to hear is me talking to Pattie Boyd about basically she's got an exhibition of her photos of George and Eric. They're going to be at Beatles Story. If you want to find out more details, if you follow at Beatles Story or go to BeatlesStory.com, the exhibition runs until October. I'm going to see it when I'm up in Liverpool in August. And she's doing a book signing on the 26th and the 27th of July. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is Pattie Boyd.
Hello?
Hello, is that Pattie?
Oh, yes, it is. Hello?
Hello, is that Pattie?
Oh, yes, it is.
Hello, Pattie. This is Iain Lee from Talk Radio. I believe we're booked to talk now. Are you free?
Yes, I am, Ian. I just got a weird phone call, one of those ones, blah, 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 about absolute rubbish. I thought this was them phoning back again.
Oh,
it's normally about, have you had an accident? One of those.
I don't know
I hope they're not predicting.
I don't know if you have checked if you have PPI, Pattie, but I can look into that for you. Listen, it's great. We'll crack on. It's such a pleasure to talk to you. This exhibition that's going to be launched, George, Eric and me, tell me about it. What is it?
Well, basically, there's a museum in Norway that wanted to show my photographs and memorabilia and all sorts of things that I could offer them. And they had this exhibition running for about 3 months a couple of summers ago, and it was very successful. And the Beatles museum people heard about it and wanted the same thing, almost the same exhibition. So I've moved it from Norway to Liverpool, and there are photographs, fun photographs mainly fun ones of George, and I have the Beatles, maybe all of them, that I took when we were in Rishikesh in India. We went there to meditate in '68.
Now, this is listen. I'm a huge Beatles fan, so if I geek off too much, Pattie, you can tell me to back away a little bit. But
all right.
You introduced the Beatles to the Maharishi, didn't you?
Well, I didn't completely. What happened was that while they were on tour in Australia, I believe, I thought I wanted to do something else with my life, and then I saw a little advertisement to learn how to meditate, and I thought, that's for me. And so I followed it up, and in fact it was transcendental meditation, and I enrolled and learned how to meditate. So when the Beatles came back from Australia, I told George all about it, and he was very interested. And as luck would have it, I don't know, maybe a week or so went by, and then Paul phoned us to say there's someone called Maharishi who's come to London, and he's going to talk about meditation at the Hilton, I think, in London. So, of course, if one Beatle does something, we all have to do it.
Of course.
Because we are one family,
Yeah.
It's just very cozy and comforting and all those wonderful words. And so we all went, and they really wanted to learn more about meditation. So we went up to Wales, and then while we were there, I think Maharishi, because their manager, Brian Epstein, died while we were in Wales.
Yeah.
And Maharishi could see how deeply upset everybody was. And this is why he suggested that perhaps we should go to India for about 2 months for more intensive courses on meditation.
What was India like? Because the stories I've read paint it as being pretty basic.
Well, yes, I mean, it's a third world country for a start. We're cozily living in a first world country here in England. But because it's a third world country, it doesn't mean that it's lacking in culture, love, religion, and honesty, and all these great old-fashioned values. It's a most beautiful country with an awful lot to offer. I'm absolutely mad about India. I love the food, and the people are charming and gentle and sweet. But it's, I can't criticise it, but if you're really used to living a very sort of civilised life in the West, perhaps India's not really for you, because you see an awful lot of poverty.
Yeah.
And, but you have to get used to that. It's been like that for thousands of years.
And how did the Beatles, the four Beatles, find it? Because obviously they were, living the life of luxury.
Yes, but you know what? They were all young. We were all very young. We were like 22, 23, and hadn't really got into the concept of luxury. They were living the life that they wanted to live, and it was all fun, and we go to nightclubs and do whatever we want whenever we wanted, except if they were recording or on tour. And I think nobody minded. Nobody complained about living in a very sort of simple way. The beds were really like, as far as I remember from my school days, rather like school beds. The mattress is not very thick.
Yeah.
And nobody minded. I think everybody realised we're going for, we're here to learn something.
Do you still meditate, Pattie? Do you still do TM?
Yes, I do, but I'm a little bit of a lazy person, I have to admit. So I don't, meaning that I don't do it every day.
Yeah. How did you kind of grew up all over the place, didn't you? You moved from place to place. How did you end up becoming a model in the swinging 60s?
Well, that was more by luck than any kind of design. I was working for Elizabeth Arden, and somebody came in and asked me if I'd ever thought about being a model. Well, I had to tell a little bit of a fib. I said no, even though I've been combing the pages of Vogue and all these glamorous magazines, and Jean Shrimpton was the star, and I said, oh, my God, I'd love to be her, as all young girls do.
Yeah.
And this woman came in from one of the teen magazines and asked me if I'd like to be a model. I said, yeah, gosh, yes. So I went and she interviewed me, and she got someone to take photographs, and then introduced me to my future agent, who signed me on straight away.
And what kind of stuff were you doing? Guess fashion mags and adverts and things like that.
Yes, I was. Fashion mags, catalogue work, and advertising, and it was quite good. Looking back at my old appointments books now, I can't believe how much I was working.
Really, constantly.
Yeah.
And then you got a part in A Hard Day's Night.
Yes, now this is so funny, because my agent would send me for different interviews continually, because I'd be working, and then they'd say, go to this address, interview. So I went along, and I went in for the interview, and I recognised one of the guys, because I'd done a TV commercial with him before.
Yeah.
And his name was Dick Lester, but it seemed a little more important this time. There were more people staring at my portfolio. And then I went home that afternoon, and my agent phoned me early evening to say, I got a part in the Beatles film.
Fantastic.
I said, how on earth did that happen? And they said, well, the last interview you went for, that's what it was for. And I panicked. I said, look, I've never wanted to be an actress. I'm far too shy. I can't handle this. And they said, don't worry. You just have to wear a school uniform and only say one word. And I thought, well, I'm sure I can do that.
Were you a Beatles fan?
Well, I like their music, I like their music, but I wasn't a sort of raving fan. I didn't go and see them in concert, but I loved what they were doing.
Mm.
And so, it was a very exciting time, thinking that I was going to. However, I must tell you, it was so embarrassing, I thought, to meet these people who are clearly famous and were going to be more famous, and I have to wear a wretched school uniform. Oh, no, it's so unattractive.
But what was the attraction between you and if I ask anything that's too impersonal, just tell me to shut up. What was the attraction between you and George Instant? Was there a certain magic, or did it take a bit of time?
There was an instant magic. He was deliciously looking. He was so good looking. Had the most beautiful brown eyes. And both of us, being rather shy, we were kind of attracted to each other. And we sat next to each other at lunch on the train while they were filming. And, we were just sort of, I thought he was unbelievably funny and amusing, because I'd never met anyone from Liverpool before. And, of course, the language in Liverpool is so different from the language that we know. They have so many different sayings, and I just wasn't sure what was going on. It was all rather giddy-making, actually.
Yeah.
And he was so adorable and sweet and funny. I mean, what a great combo.
Yeah. And then you became part of the whole Beatles machinery. That must have been an incredible experience to see, a worldwide phenomenon, and obviously a lot of this is recorded in these photographs at the exhibition, but to be in the middle of a worldwide phenomenon as it was happening.
Yeah, but look, of course, I didn't realise. I thought just people in England, knew of them.
Yeah.
Obviously people in America and wherever they toured. But I had and none of us, and they didn't either, have any concept of quite how enormous they were becoming and would become later on. And I think with time they've become even more iconic.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of the photos now, and they really are, they're family photos, aren't they? They're snaps. There's a great picture of George topless on a bed with a pair of sunglasses by him. These are very intimate, aren't they?
Yeah, do you know what? Before I started showing my photographs, I was really slightly unsure about if I'm revealing too much, if, these are too personal. And I showed them to a few friends, and they said, no, they're lovely, you must share them. And it's the only way I can see it. I can't now go back and say, oh my God, they're too personal, because, I think that they're lovely, and I would never show a photograph of somebody who wasn't looking good, or the lighting was horrible, or they were in a hideous position. I'd never do that.
Oh, they're absolutely beautiful, and it is, the intimacy of a family snap. Not the posed photos. You have been at several kind of pivotal rock moments. You were at the famous "All You Need Is Love" performance, weren't you?
Yes.
What the hell was that like? Was it as much fun as it looks?
It was huge fun.
Yeah, I bet.
There was enormous electricity in the air. It was just like so exciting. And also we were told that while it was being filmed, it would be shown around the world.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that was mind-blowing.
It was like the first big satellite link up around the world, wasn't it?
It was. Absolutely it was. And so to be the first was, even more exciting. And to think we would be there as well. It was fabulous. Absolutely exciting and wonderful.
And also, have I got this right? You were there the first time that George and John Lennon took LSD.
Well, yes.
And it wasn't particularly. It was done. Wasn't it the dentist that kind of spiked you all or something?
Well, yes. I mean, we thought he was quite charming because he invited us for dinner.
Yeah.
And so John was with his first wife, Cynthia, and George and I. So we went along, and we thought, well, might as well do that, have dinner with him, and then afterwards we'd go and see Klaus Bormann playing in some club in Soho.
Yeah.
So our evening was planned. So we went along and, had some drinks and dinner and wine, and it was all rather nice. And then we said, well, we've got to go now. I'm so sorry, but we're going to see Klaus. And they said, but you haven't had your coffee. So, we had to sit down again, drink our coffee, and then we got up and went into the sitting room, and just chatting, and then John said, we've really got to go, we don't want to miss them. And the dentist said, you can't possibly leave yet. And John said, why? And he said, because you've just had LSD.
Uh-oh.
John freaked out because he understood what it was.
Yeah.
George and I and Cynthia, no idea, never heard of it, didn't know why John was getting so angry. And anyway, that was it. John said, right, we're definitely leaving. So we left and we got into our little Mini. And I can't tell you what it's like. I don't know if you've ever taken a drug as strong as that, but you become so enormous in your mind.
Yeah.
And so 4 people kept growing and growing in this tiny little Mini. It was, it was surreal, and it was hallucinogenic. So it was very scary, and in fact incredibly irresponsible of the dentist.
Oh, of course, yeah.
To have given us this, and knowing George was driving too. no, it was the most horrific experience.
It does sound horrific, and yes, you know, if you're having a trip and it's not, you know, a controlled situation, of course it can be terrifying. But that evening did shape rock music for years to come, didn't it? Are you aware, because you were there, and all these different experiences, are you aware of just how important those experiences were?
No, because for us it was just our life. This is what we were doing. We had very little idea that anybody else knew how our life was going. You know, we thought this is, I mean, nobody knows about your life, really, do they? No. You see, so, I mean, imagine if you now find out everybody knows exactly what you were doing. You know, it's rather odd.
It must be, because and I would imagine that you get, you know, a contact or accosted by fans all the time who know everything you were doing on January the 31st of 1967, and you know that on February the 6th, 1973, they know exactly where you were.
Yes, I know. It's very, very, very odd indeed. It blows me away, actually, and I don't really like it.
Yeah,
but then when I speak to, I've been speaking to this amazing forensic historian who's writing 3 of the most enormous volumes.
Oh, is this Mark Lewison?
Yes.
Yes.
To me, he is a forensic historian. Yeah. His detail is fascinating, and so listening to him tell me about my life is actually fantastic.
His first book, if I got this right, was 900 pages, and it only went up to 1963.
Yeah.
That's in depth.
Well, that's why I call him a forensic historian.
You recently did a show as well with Henry Diltz, the famous rock photographer, who I've kind of had dealings with, and boy, oh boy, isn't he an absolute gentleman? What was that like, working with him?
Oh, he is the most adorable man ever. Absolutely adorable. And he photographs everything and anything. You know, so we can be walking down the street, Henry and I, and, you know, where's Henry? Miles back, you know, blocks back. He's found some little thing in a window or somewhere that he's photographing. Yeah. He is so much fun, so talented, and he's great fun to be with. And we did a lovely tour of 5 different states of America in March, towards the end of March. And we did 13 shows where Henry first and then me would stand up in front of an audience and we'd have our photographs large on a big screen. Yeah. And we would discuss them and, you know, tell funny tales about what was happening at the time. It's really fun to do it with Henry.
I'm going to let you go in a second, Pattie. Just one more thing. You are you were a muse. You may still be a muse, but you certainly were a muse and inspired, you know, 3 of the greatest love songs, at least, of all time. Layla, Wonderful Tonight, and Something. Do you kind of show off about that? Do you feel a weight of responsibility around that? Or do you just think, you know, that some men that were in love with you wrote some really nice songs about you?
Yes, I think the latter, because, you know, there's no point in me getting hung up about, you know, it's being a muse. I mean, so who am I now? You know, only amusing. But, no, I mean, how lucky I am. How lucky I am that, you know, those guys wrote beautiful songs.
Pattie, listen, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for sharing these photos, because as a Beatles fan, and a fan of, you know, of rock music, and Clapton, of course, it's really nice to see, you know, this kind of personal side of them that quite often you don't get to see, so thank you for that.
My pleasure. I hope that everybody else enjoys seeing the photographs as well.
I'm sure they will. Pattie, thank you so much for your time. It's been a real thrill to talk to you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Talk Radio.
Join the Talk Nation.
Dial up and talk radio.
We'll get you talking.